right, I think I'm live. If I'm live and if you can hear me and if I sound good, if you don't mind hitting that number 1 in the chat box. Uh-oh. Is my mic working? Test 1, 2. Yeah, I think my mic is working. Maybe nobody's... If you can hear me, if you don't mind, can you hit that 1 in the chat box there? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay, Mike. Mike and John. Okay, all right. All right. There's either more of a delay than normal or it was just a quiet group to start off here. All right. Mike, well, at least Mike and John can hear me. I don't know if anybody else can hear me, but Mike and John can indeed hear me. So maybe it'll just be the 3 of us, but all right. Let me You can hear. Zane can hear too. Okay. All right, good. Ooh, this is looking like a good setup here. What is that up there? 66. We'll see how it goes. So how's everybody's days going? All right, already at 6 likes. As always, if you've been here before, the goal is 125 likes, which we did not actually hit yesterday. But yesterday was a goofy day. Lost internet in the middle of it. Then I went on tilt because it was a messy day. But 125 is the goal. So if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, please hit that like button. If you've never been here, welcome. Great to have you. No need to hit the like button. I understand you have no idea if you're going to like this or not. Couple reminders. Markets are closed tomorrow for Good Friday. So futures market, stock market just totally closed. Futures market, which is what we're watching here, closes this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll open back up Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is Easter. So I suppose the futures market will be open for a little bit on Easter because as it opens back up at 6 p.m. But markets are closed tomorrow. So if you show up and you see nothing moving, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. It's just that the markets are closed. Oh yeah, I got my other account. Got the new. So I passed the 50,000 today, which was good. So I can't trade the 50,000 anymore. But I did get another 50,000 for the stream, so we can. There we go. So I'm interested in getting short here. And then just a stop above the high right here. I want to see, maybe I'm being a little too greedy on my entry point. Want it to come up a bit more. Hopefully that doesn't cost me. But I am. So, but how's everybody's day going? Oh, there it goes. Whoa. That was a stronger move than I was expecting. Raz, after all those years of trading, why use prop firm now? Because it makes perfect sense, Raz. Are you not using a prop firm, Raz? Oh, you see? Well, no, I wouldn't have been stopped out. Great for good, Ken. I'm glad. Wow, the viewers are swinging all over the place. Are we having... Raz, are you not using a prop firm? And are you a day trader? So that's a two-pronged question. Well, there it was right there. Got a little distracted. Okay, here we go. Hey, quick question. If I pass the test account and get a pro account, does that mean I can get 5 accounts right away, or do I need to do each? Yeah, no, you need to pass each account. Yeah, if only it were that easy. Nope. If you're going to get up to 5 pro accounts, that means you've passed 5 separate tests for each account, because each size could be different. Each account could be a different, size account. But no, I am not using. But what is the sense behind this? You have to split profits. I'll tell you. That's a very good question. Why would you use a prop firm? You have to split profits. Well, first off, split profits almost implies like 50-50 split. Like you only get to keep 20 of them. So that's what it kind of comes across. Maybe that's not what you're saying, but with the prop firm that I'm using to recommend, you get to keep 80% of the profits once you get to the pro account. And then in a Pro Plus, you get to keep 90% of the profits. But Roz, let me ask you this. Well, Roz, do you ever have bad days where you go until you kind of revenge trade, you break your rules, and you just have one of those days where you're like, wow, what was I thinking? I made a mess of things. Do you ever have those days? Maybe not often, but I mean, do you ever have those days? Let's start there, Roz. Do you ever have those days? Look at that. You bone. You all heard me saying I wanted to come up a little bit more, and then That's the one thing with the live streaming. Like your brain is not 100% focused. I'm trying to split attention here, but oh well. Man, already up to 19 likes. Let's go. I had those days in the beginning. Now not that I can remember. Okay, do you ever, so you never have like multiple thousand, you don't have like you never get caught in bad, like you just don't have bad days? You never have days where you're like, wow, that was rough. You just don't have those anymore? Because I do. I have days where they're few and far between, but I'm like, dude, what was that? Like, or sometimes you just get stuck in crazy moves. Like, you never have any of that, Roz? Correct, Ken. The monthly fee only applies to the test phase. Once you move it into the pro account, it goes away. Hello, Raphael. I am a swing and a day trader at times when... Oh, well, then none of this applies to you, Ross, so never mind then. If you're a swing trader, then the argument for prop firms doesn't apply. Of course I have those days. That's part of being a trader. Okay, thank you. You just made the perfect argument for Pam's plant, which is prop firms. But I don't see the sense of using a prop. Okay, Roz, well, I'm about to show you the sense of using a prop. So you just conceded. Of course I have those days. Yeah, those days can be very costly. Can we agree on that, Roz? That those days can be very costly? Again, I want to make sure that, okay, so those days that are very costly. So prop firms have this. So this is Pam's plant, and what you're arguing for without realizing you're arguing for it, like you just made the point, is right here, the added risk control. Specifically, this part of it, how you can protect your own money. How do you protect your own money? Well, you protect your own money because you're going to have those days that you just agreed exist, like you're like, well, of course, that's part of being a trader. Fully agree. Part of being a trader is those days where things just go wrong, and whether it's the market that is going crazy or you that go wrong, but we all have days that go wrong. Okay, I'm glad we can agree on that. So let's look at two situations, and we'll just look at this. We'll look at you go and you take $231 out of your wallet to get yourself 100,000 purchasing power, which means that you're not allowed to lose more than 3,000. Now remember, out of your pocket was 231. So one of those days happen. Okay, so one of those days happens if it's your money. So again, we're saying just one of those days happens. Now here's the difference: if it's you not using a prop firm and it's your money on the line, and one of quote unquote those days cost you $3,000. Well, I mean that literally cost you $3,000. That's $3,000 out of your wallet gone. However, in the world of prop firms, is it $3,000 out of your pocket? It's not. Now, do they take the account away from you? Yes, they've taken the account away from you because you violated the rule of losing $3,000. But how much did you lose out of your pocket from one of those bad days, which you already agreed, yeah, happen. All traders have them. Well, the amount out of your pocket was only $231. And I can only speak for myself, but given we both agree with the premise that those days happen, it's just part of being a trader, I would rather have those days only cost me $231 as opposed to $3,000. And if that means I have to give up 20% of my profits, give up 10% of my profits, depending on what account you're in, to me, that is a trade-off that is a no-brainer. I don't want to have all that risk. So in other words, this is an insurance policy for risk. And you, like I said, you argued for it as soon as you said, well, yeah, of course all traders have those bad days where things just go wrong. So when that happens, in my mind, I'd rather have that cost me $230 as opposed to $3,000. So that is why I use a prop firm. That is why I think it makes mathematical sense to use a prop firm. Yeah, you don't get to keep every single penny, but you know what you do have to keep if you use your own money? Every single penny of your loss. So I'd rather give up 20%, 10% of my profits, but avoid having to take on 100% of any losses of those bad days that happen. I get the idea. Well, I think now you get the idea. So you're basically using the prop firm to enhance, yes. But to be fair and to just keep, because I know some of you are asking, wait a second, how does this make any sense, especially during the test phase? You only give them $230 of your money, but they'll let you lose $3,000 of their money? No, this is all in a simulated environment. Test phase and even the first phase of the pro, simulated environment, and that's what allows the business model, to continue. Because yes, I've had some people rightfully point out, Clay, that sounds like a scam. What company, what business model can actually survive losing $3,000 of their money when they're only getting $231 of the trader's money? Totally astute observation, but again, this is all in a simulated environment. But then, like I said, once you move to the pro accounts, you start to get paid. So that is why I would argue and think that prop firms make a whole lot of sense. For day trading. Pam's plan is an argument for day traders, and the argument being you should day trade futures through a prop firm. And that little conversation we just had was just one component of the argument. Like I said, it was only this component right here. There's many other components which you can see here, but that is the one that just wanted to map out, which is one of the key components. So yeah, good question. I understand your logic. I understand how. I want to keep all my gains. Well, that's fine if you want to keep all your gains, but that also means you're getting to keep all of your losses. So I'd rather give up a little bit of my gains in order to avoid having to take on all of my loss for those bad days, which we both agree happen because it's just part of being a trader. All right, well, this did not roll down as much as what I thought. All right, let me see if I can. I don't know if they should. Ouch, but only cost. Yeah, exactly. Emmy had one of those days yesterday, but it only cost him $100. Exactly. I'd rather have a bad day cost me $100 as opposed to thousands of dollars. New to day trading and really appreciating your videos. Cool, Jim. I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad they're finding them helpful. Have you heard of the new no test accounts at ETF for like? There's a test in there somewhere, Andrew. And the fact that you're paying $600, yeah. But if I don't pass the challenge, I should have just put my $100 into Robinhood. Oh, brother. If all you have, Brad, is $100, trading is not for you. Like you got bigger problems. You have bigger goals in your personal finances. Like I said, if you're no. You're still missing it anyways, Brad. I mean, I stand by my point. If you only have $100, you probably have other things in your finance you need to focus on. But even with that, what does $100 get you? What does $100 get you at Robinhood, Brad? It gets you $100. Well, let me just do this real quick. Let's assume Robinhood gives you 10-to-1 leverage. They don't, but let's just assume you get 10-to-1 leverage. That means with that $100, you could actually buy $1,000 worth of things. That's nothing. Whereas in the world of prop firms, what is that getting you? That same $105 is giving you the ability to buy up to 3 contracts that move very, very quickly. And when you look at the leverage there, it is way, way more than 10-to-1. So in terms of getting your best bang for your buck, you just literally argued against Robinhood because Robinhood doesn't even give you 10-to-1. So I'm trying to help Robinhood out in this argument, and they still come out looking like garbage because they don't give you 10-to-1, but even if they did, it's still well below the sort of leverage that you get here because 3 contracts of the NQ can add up very, very quickly. Now, to be fair, it can also go against you, poof, just like that. But again, we're day traders. We want movement, right? That's part of Pam's plan. We want movement. So yes, but as far as the leverage is concerned, that's something that you can definitely get. You're getting a way better bang for your $100. But again, still, if you Brad, if you look at that $100 and the thought of it, like you losing it creates like beads of sweat. Yeah, you got other things that you need to focus on right now in your personal finances. James, hello. Zane, Clay, if I only trade 1 or 2 contracts, what's the benefit of having a larger account? You would have more drawdown. You get more wiggle room before you break rules, right? So here, you're allowed to lose up to 4,500, which would, I mean, obviously it's not impossible to do, but it would take quite a bit of a screw up on your part if you're trading 1 or 2 contracts to lose the 4,500. So that would be, to answer your question, that would be I'm not saying that's still right for you. I'm just saying as far as what would be the benefit, that would be the benefit. How did your day go? Yeah, day went well, passed the test. Work build good on another account. This is a fresh one I just got for the live stream here. Thanks, Clay. Thank you, Roz. You used to trade options a few years ago, right? Why did you stop? Up until November, I traded options and stocks. I mean, members of my community have been telling me for years, Clay, get to futures. And I've heard it say before, which turned out to be right, everybody that's a day trader eventually ends up in futures because futures are just better. And it's true that they are just better than stocks, options, Forex, or crypto. And especially when options, so Roz, I mean, you know about theta. Now you are a swing trader, so this is why I want to just make sure we stay in the same category. I am arguing from the category of day trading. If you're a swing trader, I concede that yes, options are pretty cool. You can do cool things with them. You got the iron condors, you got the the bald-faced butterflies, you got the breakneck elephants, you got all these cool things that you can do from a swing trading perspective. But a day trading perspective, dealing with theta is the worst thing ever. And if those of you maybe aren't familiar with options, so in the world of options, day trading, this action right here is terrible for you. Now, maybe you're saying, rightfully so, what are you talking about? It's just going sideways. How can that be terrible if something's just going sideways? Well, there's something in options called theta, which means as time passes, the value of your position is dropping. So as soon as you get caught in sideways action, you're literally losing money, even though the price is still just going sideways. There is no theta in futures. So that's the easiest way to defeat the whole argument against options day traders is like, hey, do you hate theta? Every single options day trader will be like, yes, I hate theta. Theta is the worst. And I said, well, hey, there's a choice where the things move very, very nicely. Futures move great. I mean, look at all these opportunities here. Amazing. And guess what? You don't have theta. I went from stocks to futures, and it's night and day better. No more PDT for one. Thank you, Mr. T Gleaner. So right there, somebody else that you're right. You need a clear trend intraday to make profit without risking. I mean, at the end of the day, well, even if you have a clear trends have consolidation periods within the trend. So even if you ultimately do get the trend, the question becomes, well, how much should theta eat into your profits, during that consolidation phase? So that's why I say, like, if you're going to day trade options, it mathematically makes 0 sense to do so because of theta. When you can go and trade futures, which move even better than options anyways, so they move better anyhow, and you get the added bonus, the cherry on top of no theta. But yeah, Mr. T Gleaner is one of many that's been here. There's been several now, been live streaming now, about 2.5 months. People that have, Pam's plan, the P, I know you can't see it. That's just pattern day trading rule. So in stocks and options, unless you have the $25,000, you cannot day trade as much as you want. A day trade being you buy and sell something in the same exact day. And with the pattern day trading rule, you're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days. 3 times every 5 days, you're allowed to buy and sell something in the same day, unless you have more than $25,000. That's the pattern day trading rule. But in futures, there's no pattern day trading rule. You can day trade every single day as much as you want every single day. So for most people that are in stocks and options, that's the knockout punch right there. They're like, oh, really? You're telling me I can actually get around this ridiculous, mind-numbing, dumbest regulation ever known as a pattern day trading rule. I can get around that. Yep, sign me up. So for most people, the P of Pam, just, yep, I'm on board. Pam's plant, let's go. But yeah, like I said, that's just one of many. Some people show up and they have more than 25,000, but you still have all these other points that, like I said, Pam's plant, as long as the live stream's been on, is undefeated. I've had nobody be able to defeat it. I've had nobody be able to tell me how it's a bad idea for day traders. I got to get short here.
Order filled.
Okay. Only 2 micros. What's that right there? All right. Let me do 2 more. Oh, that was a bad... that was not good. That was not good. I waited and hesitated too long.
Order rejected.
Whoops. All right. Is there news? No. We're only at 4. This is the live stream account. Okay, this is what you don't want to do, because this was never the plan, and we'll see if it's going to end up burning me here.
Order filled.
This is bad trading right now. I'm on a little bit of a live stream tilt because I don't want my first trade. Come on, come on, come on. Go down below that blue line. All right, that was, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was bad trading. That was me refusing to take, well, I try to take a loss. I don't know if the mic picks up, or I don't know if this, yeah, I don't know if the mic picks up the speaker, but you heard order rejected. That was me actually trying to get out of the trade. But then I didn't, and at that moment, I went on tilt there. I was like, all right, well, we're going to make this work. But yeah, that was a terrible trade. Don't mimic that. Do not mimic that. That was my ego and my frustration combining. My frustration being I tried to get out, but I was too slow on the stop. And then, like I said, I don't know if the mic picked up the speaker, but it was order rejected. And then after that, that would create the frustration. Then the ego kicked in. Come on, Clay. We can't have a losing trade, first fresh account on the live stream. You got people watching. Don't let it go red on you. Don't take that loss. So then I went on tilt. That was not good. That was a terrible trade. Terrible trade. That's what I'm still learning to deal with as a live streamer who's only, 2.5 months in. It's a new voice. And I understand, Clay, dude, why do you care what a bunch of strangers on YouTube think? You're right. You're right. Like I said, that's something I'm working through. The ego voice. But don't do that. That was not a good trade. That was not a good trade. Every 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I have the ad set to conservative, so you definitely should not be getting ads every 5 minutes. Nick, I've been looking at a prop firm now. Theta has been killing me. Yeah, there you go. My question is, can I change my leverage later if I chose? No. I mean, you can close down the account, Nick, but you would still have to choose another account, pass that account, or whatever that account is. So yeah, you can't just, I passed this one, now I want to transfer my pass to another account. It doesn't work like that. How did you move from options to futures? I'm not sure. What do you mean by how did I move? It was a very easy move because so right here for beginners, this is just candlestick charting or technical analysis. So instead of using technical analysis, instead of using candlesticks charting for options or for stocks, now I just happen to use it for futures. Because it's all the same thing. Like I could lie to people and I could say, we're looking at a stock chart right now. Nobody would know that any different. I could lie to people and cover everything up and be like, okay, we're looking at a Forex pairing right now. Nobody would know any different because they're all just candlesticks. It just happens to be, well, what is the candlestick for? In this situation, happens to be for futures. I don't know if that's what you meant by how, but yeah, it's not a hard transition because it's assuming you know how to use charts, then there's a couple small little things you got to learn, like what's the point, how much is the point worth, but like that's super easy. And then after that, it's just reading charts. I passed. It's not day one payout. You got to make your drop. Then Well, no, it is day one payout. I mean, if you go and crush it and get your buffer and get above your buffer, that's a day one payout right there. So I mean, it is definitely day one payout. But yeah, I mean, you gotta still meet the buffer and everything like that. And he caught the knife. No, I don't know what that is. What is a rising move? Is that I don't know. Is that I guess maybe, is that a rising knife? I've never heard that term. But I've always thought catching the knife means you're trying to buy something that's going down. I was shorting something that was going up. I hesitated on a long play this morning, and it went up, 50 points after it hit right where I was going to buy. Well, we've all been there. We've all been there. I don't know if it's possible, but we could be in record-setting territory. Could we get this up over 50 likes in the next 5 minutes? So if you have not hit the like button, make sure you do that. We've only gotten over 50 likes in the first 30 minutes twice. So this, and who knows, if we get a surge, I don't know how many likes are out there. But if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button, because that is what I'm using to gauge how long this stream is actually going to go for. Everyone gets spanked now. Yeah, no, exactly. We all get spanked now and then. That's the whole argument for prop firms. If we all agree on the premise that we're all going to get spanked from time to time, I'd rather have the spanking only cost me a couple $100 at most compared to the potentially couple thousands of dollars, if not more, if you're trading with your own money. What leverage do you have and how much can you... let's see. So Nick, this distance to this distance right there is, if you look at these numbers, you'll notice that is a difference of 20. So in futures, things are talked about in points. So that is 20 points. The difference between those two lines is 20 points. So that distance right there, which hopefully you're like, okay, that's not a huge distance. So that distance, 20 points. With the NQ, 1 point equals $20 per contract. Per contract, 1 point equals $20. So Nick and everybody else, therefore, how much was this distance worth per contract? That distance is 20 points, and we now know that 1 point is worth $20. So how much was that distance actually worth? If you can do the math, then you now officially understand futures. So for those of you that don't, or maybe are new to futures and maybe are intimidated by futures, I don't have to learn futures, ask that question. How much is this distance right here worth? I've given you the numbers, but that distance right there between those lines, if that distance is 20 points and 1 point is worth $20, how much is that worth? Give me the answers in the chat room. It doesn't matter, Nick. Just for the sake of this, don't worry about Mike. You're asking, Nick is asking like, so in the chat, how much is that distance worth? Wow, at 45, we just got 15. Do we have 5 more likes out there? We got 2 minutes for 5 more likes. That was a huge surge in likes. Fantastic. That might have been the biggest breakout I've ever seen. All right, nobody wants to do the math. Maybe everybody here already understands and nobody's new to futures. There we go, Keefe. All right, finally. There we go, Ken. Good. Again, I'm trying to de-intimidize. I realize that's not a word, but I know some people are intimidated. Oh, I just want to stick with stocks and options because it's what I know. I don't have to learn something different. This is what I'm trying to illustrate. You don't have to learn anything different. I mean, this is what you would have to learn. But as you see, hopefully it's like, yeah, this guy's insulting my intelligence. The answer to that is clearly $400, because if that distance is 20 points and each point is worth $20, $400 per contract. So Nick, that little distance there is worth $400 per contract. So per your question, what kind of leverage, how much is it? What did you ask? What leverage do you have and how much can you make? Well, that gives you that would give you an example right there of how much you can make. That little distance could make you $400 with one NQ contract. But as far as the prop firm, how much money is going to be required? Well, let's just go bare minimum. If you're getting $25,000 in purchasing power, it's going to cost you $105. So for that $105, you could get up to 3 of those contracts that we just did the math on. So 3 of those contracts, if each one was $400, well, now we have to multiply that by 3. So that little distance there would have been worth $1,200. So futures can add up very, very quickly. So that is how much you can make. And again, well, how much leverage am I getting? How much? That's also why I like prop firms. This one, it just makes it, for this size account, for 105, it's telling you how much you can do per trade. You can do up to 3 of the very volatile contracts or up to 30 of the less volatile contracts. There you go. If you on the other extreme of things, 150,000 in purchasing power. Well, how much does that actually give you? Well, it tells you right here. Of the very volatile ones, 15. Of the less volatile ones, 150. So hopefully that makes sense, Nick. Good question. But I think Nick was somebody that was like, I'm sick of... Oh, yeah. He's Theta has been killing me. Yep. Exactly, Nick. I guarantee it. Well, no, I take that back. I can't guarantee it. I'm at like 99.723% positivity that you'll be upset at yourself. Like I am. Like, why did it take me so long to move to futures? They're so much better than stocks, so much better than options. And I'm a full believer. And whoever I said that, whoever told me that years ago, all day traders eventually end up trading futures. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. What happens with those losses when trading with a prop firm? Like I was saying, Jeff, good question, good observation. But during this part right here, the losses, this is all in a simulated environment. Because you're right, it makes no sense. How can this business be? How can this business actually work? If the firm's losing $4,500, but they're only getting $252 from the client, how are they staying in business? Because during the test phase here, this is all a simulated environment. It's a test phase. You got to prove yourself first. So also, if you make $9,000, I've had people say, "What a scam!" So you make $9,000, but you don't get to keep any of it. The only thing you get is moving into the pro account. Well, it's like, yeah, but there's not actually $9,000. You didn't make. There is no $9,000 that was made in reality. It's just a test phase. But yes, once you move the goal from test to pro, then you get to keep money and you get to keep 80% of it. And then in Pro Plus, you get to keep 90% of it, which I think is well worth the trade-off of not having on maximum risk. How long is your test phase? How long is defining consistent? This one is you got to go 5 days minimum. But the nice thing here is that you could, in theory, if you play it perfectly, you could pass in 5 days. And then on day 6, you could start to request payouts. Whereas other prop firms, I know they advertise the 1 day pass, but then what they don't necessarily tell you up front is, well, yeah, then you got to trade like 8 or 9 days. You got to do some sort of extended period to prove yourself, which is actually the true test, and then you can get paid. But with the one I'm recommending, yes, it's a 5-day test period. That's true. But in all actuality, other prop firms, like your first chance to quote unquote get paid would be like day 8 or 9. In this one, your first chance in theory to get paid would be day 6. And unlike other prop firms, Take Profit Trader, you can request money whenever you want and for whatever amount you want. Other prop firms doesn't make them a scam, but they say, well, no, you can only request. So if you make $1,000, or let's say you make $7,500, they say no, you can't request $7,500 whenever you want it. You can only request money every couple of weeks, and you're actually, even though you made $7,500, you're only allowed to request $2,000 of it. Whereas Take Profit Trader is like, no, if you made $7,500. And you're in the pro accounts now, then yes, you can request all $7,500 whenever you want. If you want to request $500 of that $7,500 every single day, you can do that too. So yes, Take Profit Trader. Actually, right now, they're the cheapest of all the prop firms out there with the current promotion they have going on. But even when they don't, yeah, maybe they're a little bit more expensive up front, but I think all that flexibility you get on the back end is worth it. So Chandler, I think that answered your question. Maybe we'll get another trade here. So yeah, is there some sort of short right around here? Because you got a clear stop right above the VWAP. So we'll see if, and just a recap of the day so far. Actually, let's get this up to 50 and I'll give the recap of the day. Do we have one more like out there? I wish TPT allowed more than 5 accounts. No, I think TPT does it the best. Because the goal would be to get 5 accounts at pro, and then you keep on passing other accounts at the same time. And then you just save those accounts, meaning you just store them. Now, other prop firms, if you store accounts, meaning you're not using them for anything after you pass, they'll charge you monthly fees. Not so with Take Profit Trader. So in other words, if you had 5 pro accounts, but then you also had, let's just say 10 past accounts that you're storing, then anytime you blow up one of those pro accounts, boom, you just plug another one in. You're back to 5. Maybe you have a crazy day, you blow 2 of them. Boom. Now because you have this stable, you plug them back in, you're back up to 5. So I think, whereas other ones, I know you can go way more, but if you're copy trading, then all it takes is one and poof, like everything's gone just like that with if you're copy trading too many. So I think that, at least that's my theory, that get up to 5 and then keep doing other accounts, keep passing other accounts, build up your stable. Because again, it's there's no cost to you to store these accounts, because blowing up accounts is part of prop firm trading. There are casualties along the way, but blowing up an account in the prop firm world, it sounds bad. Whoa, you blew up an account. Like, that must have been thousands of dollars lost. No, in the prop firm world, it's just a couple hundred. Which is the best platform to trade on? This is Tradovate. My claim is it's not the best. It's just the one that I use and enjoy. Why do you use 50K for streaming when all reset? Well, I've done several. I've done 150K on here. I've done 25K. I've done everything except the 75. I've never had a 75. That is the only test I've never passed, just because I've never even tried a 75,000 pass. Should probably be buying this pullback, huh? Yeah, let's, if I can get 70, stop, 60. Yeah, but 10-point risk. Let's do that here. Buy. Sell. So I'm looking to get long here at the green line. Move that down a little bit. There we go. And looking to buy it. That was the move I wanted. And then it goes back up. All right, never mind on that one. If you're in right now, I wouldn't call you crazy at all. No guarantees the trade works. That's why risk management matters. But I see the logic here of why you'd be long on the pullback here. I was going to mention that. I just read yesterday when I was reading through my pro account agreement. So my goal is to have as many test accounts passed as I can. Yeah, exactly, James. And I think that alleviates the burden too, because in the pro accounts, you always have the threat of, I don't want to blow this account because then I have to go back and do the test phase again. But if you know in your mind, hey, you know what? I already have accounts that are passed. Then for me at least, you can trade a little bit worth a little bit more peace of mind. Is this the breakdown of the bull flag? Could be. Or did we have... Now, this is total hindsight analysis now. Or was this just a rising wedge all along? Dun, dun, dun. Rising wedge, or was that the break of it? I don't know. Maybe I'm fitting a square peg through a round hole. But I am going to keep that resistance line up there. This could be an interesting short, especially when you have the VWAP right here. That's going to keep, dot, dot, dot. Look, something like that. So is it a potential short if it gets up into this general area? Could be. I could see that making sense. What about Philippi? Like I was just saying, my friend, I don't know what the best platform to trade is. For me, this is Tradovate. So the way that it works for me is you choose a prop firm. So the prop firm that I use is Take Profit Trader. So if you use a link and then use the code, then step one would be select the purchasing power you want. And then during the checkout phase, they'll ask you what platform do you want. And then if you want to use the one I'm using, you would select Tradovate. And then this is the great part, bunch of time savings here. But then they'll go and create the account for you. So you do not have to go to Tradovate separately and create an account. They'll do all that for you, and then they'll send you a login and username, and then you just log in and you can get started. But now again, is that the best platform? I have no idea. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what type of trader you are. But this is the one that I'm using here. Look at that, right off the 21 EMA, that green line right there. Boop. I hate to even mention I blew my reset last night because of my commission. I need help and slow down. Yeah, I'd say that's probably good. I'd say that's a good diagnosis of the situation. Help and to slow down. Yeah, that can be a good step. That's a very good point since this is so much mental. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it makes sense for me, James, but I didn't even realize that other prop firms will charge you. Like if you want to have a bunch of accounts, there's still like a monthly charge to just have those accounts. But with Take Profit Trader, after you pass them from the test to the past phase and the pro stage, there is no monthly fee. Already had 51 likes. Let's go. This is a great crowd. I like the Thursday crowd. Oh, okay. So then I mentioned my day. So 726 on my one. So, that's the one I'm just growing. This one right here, I got past. So this was a 50,000 account that I started on the live stream, I don't know, a couple days ago. So with the 50,000, the goal is to make 3,000. And you're not allowed to lose 2,000, but the goal is 3,000. And I just point that out because you see right here that I am now at 53,027. So that will be now an account that will be available to turn into a pro account. And again, that's significant because in the pro phase, that's where you start to be able to keep that money. Hey, Mad Mac. And then this account right here is what I created actually a few minutes before the live stream started. So this is one for the live stream. Now, if I end up doing well, then I'll get a little bit more serious about it and try to get it passed. But it's also one of those situations where if I blow it up, then I guess we'll have some entertainment value on the live stream. I don't want to blow it up, but that is where this account is coming from right now, and the one that we are. And then these ones up here, these are pro accounts. But like I said, I'm doing something just different with all that stuff. It's not even worth getting into because I'm in more of a unique situation than other people. So it's irrelevant. Like what I'm doing with these, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But so that is the account right now. And these profits here were made by a terrible trade that I'm not going to rehash now. But yeah, if you go back and watch in the archive, you'll see it was just not good trading. Well, here's an example of, scalping versus letting the position work for you. If you went long up here where I was saying, I can see why people would be long, then those people that chose to scalp, I mean, they made a good trade. They had a good trade because, if they were around here, it bounced all the way up there. And for a scalper, that distance, plenty of room to pull out some profits. But if you're looking for a bigger move, then yeah, that ended up rolling back over on you. And you're probably saying, I wish I would have scalped. But to be fair, there are those moments where people scalp and they get out like right there. And then the price just keeps going and going. And then those people are like, oh, why did I choose to scalp? Why didn't I hold and let the position work for me? But in this situation, scalping would have definitely been the... Which prop firm do you use? I use Take Profit Trader, Nick. So if you go to that link at the top, or it's actually pinned in the pinned comment at the very top of the chat box, that'll take you to the site. And then if you want to support the channel and get the current promotion pricing, code Clay will give you all the current promotion pricing. And the hidden thing that's not, it's 30% off, but also, and all this is, all prop firms do it. But when you make this jump from the test phase into the pro, now everybody calls it different. Some will call this the funded stage. But when you make the test from the pro to here, all prop firms have what's called an activation fee. So activation fee. And yes, Take Profit Trader does have one, that activation fee being $130. So you pay for the test, and then when you pass, to go to the pro, you would pay $130. But with the current promotion and why it makes it such a good promotion is there is no activation fee. It is currently $0. So you could literally be all in. You could be all in for just this cost right here. You could be all in for $105. You could be all in with $150 for $252. Now, even if you do have to pay the $130, that's still not the end of the world. It's like, okay, all in, you're, on this situation, you'd be all in for about $230. It's like, really, $230 with the potential to make thousands? It's still a drop in the bucket. But I'm just saying right now, things are that much better of a deal because there is no activation fee. What's funny is I actually kill it, but because of theta, I barely make anything. Then, Nick, you would be a moron, with all due respect, not to go to futures. Because, yeah, there's no theta. And I'm with you. I've been there, Nick, and yeah. In fact, Nick, you'll appreciate this, but and I've used this scenario many times, but if someone were to be like, hey, Clay, you have your ultimate enemy, like you just despise this person, and you can sentence them to some sort of financial torture, what would that financial torture be? And I'd be like, day trading options. That would be what I'd sentence them to for that exact reason, where you can nail something, but because of theta, you either barely make anything on it, or you break even, or you lose money on it because of theta. So I'm fully with you there. That's why my sentence to somebody I did not like would be, send them to day trade options. And then I'd slam the gavel. How's the graphic coming, Andrew? You said you're going to make me a Pam's plant graphic. How's that coming? right. Do we have a short here? Maybe. What would that be? 90 up to, yeah, I'll risk that. See if we can get a rejection. So there's my entry. There would be my stop. Now, if this is a truly strong move, this is definitely going to be a losing trade. Okay, so I'm in. Try to take one off at that green line. Or should I just take the green right now? But we're going to let it play out. So I have a chance right now as a scalper. I could have been out. But I'm choosing right now to let this thing work for me. We'll see if that proves to be the right or wrong decision. Again, I could have already been out as a scalper with green. But I'm choosing to not scalp here. And hindsight will be whether or not that was a good decision on my part. Scalping would have been just fine. But we're gonna see if this thing wants to play ball a little bit. Come on. Again, that green one, I will take out one contract. I have two. Again, scalping right now, I'd be just fine. I've blown 5 accounts, not giving up ever. Yep. Blowing accounts is part of it, Noah. How did you blow 5, though? Were you copy trading? I'm moving down my profit target more now on this first one. Because if this can come down, that would be yet another rejection. So maybe this is the time where it actually can find some more bearishness. Again, scalping, I've had many opportunities from the scalping side. So this is a good example of, yeah, sometimes scalping might have been the right move. But like I said, I want to see if this thing wants to roll back over. I chose to scalp for a solid $400. All right. Well, maybe I'll be regretting my decision not to scalp here. We'll see. Emotional trading getting better though. Yeah, well, good. I'm glad you're getting better, and I'm glad that these are prop firms that you're blowing up and not like your own money where it's costing you thousands of dollars because of emotional trading. So that is definitely the power of, or another just example of how prop firm trading works. Come on now. I'm thinking of maybe locking in this one right here. All right. So now I'll put my stop right here. So this will be a winning trade no matter what now, because my stop is in the green. But we'll see if it wants to drop down some more. So this is a winning trade no matter what. But I'm just going to follow it down with my stop as it goes. So let's see if it wants to get down through the 21 EMA here. Okay, I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. So every time I move my stop loss down, I'm just paying myself a little bit more. There we go. Come on, give me some more. Don't do it. All right. So there we go, out there for a nice little trade. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't scalp. Had I scalped, it wouldn't have been as good of a gain as that. So ultimately, choosing to scalp was the poor decision. He chose poorly. Name the movie. He chose poorly. Pickles, I've been paying attention to my emotions and journaling what I'm feeling. Good stuff, Noah. Very good, Mad Mac. I'll accept that as an answer. Kind of a partial answer, but close enough. Close enough. You didn't sound interested. Dude, what are you talking about? I said, go for it. If you want to design me a new Pam's Plant logo, go for it. I only said, like, but I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to use it. Like, that was the only thing I said, which would be silly. Like, to promise somebody that you're going to use something that you have no idea the quality of their workmanship or what it's going to work like. Like, I can't do, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I would love it. Go for it. Please design a Pam's Plant thing. But I mean, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to use it because I don't know what happens if it comes back and it looks terrible. You know what I mean, man? Don't read into things. Don't look into me saying that I'm not going to promise to use it as me not being interested. It's just me saying I'm interested, but I'm not going to promise to use it. Well, it rolled over. It was a profitable trade. I'm glad I followed it down, but yeah. In some senses, I'm glad it did this because now I consider it like, okay, good. I moved my stop loss down well. Yeah, what a turnaround. Wow. What a turnaround. Still interested up here as a potential short. I mean, look at this. You have like a double whammy area of short up here. You have the trend line from previously. You have the VWAP right there. We'll see. I will. Let's see. I got to figure out where. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good stop too. Right there. In fact, let's just get this out there right now. Sell. There we go. Red line is my short. Green line is my stop. But now it's coming down. Again, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. We have plenty of time. But the stream is going to go for 2 hours no matter what. But if I go beyond 2 hours, I need to make sure people are still interested, and I use the metrics to gauge that as likes and super chats. So we need to be up to 100 likes in the next hour and 8 minutes. So 45 likes in the next hour and 8 minutes. I think we can do it, but that's just a reminder. If you have not hit the like button, but you're enjoying, please hit that like button. I don't understand a single thing. Completely new to this. Well, you know what? This is good timing for you. I would highly recommend you check out. I'm doing this free webinar tonight. An invite goes to everybody, but I'm specifically giving it here because that's a great spot to start. This is going to make sure that you show up. You have the right framework. You have the right approach. A lot of times people think they know what they're doing. They think their choices are making sense, but they actually don't. So if you want a good framework to which you can build from, Mountains, I think that's your name, then get signed up for this. It'll be this evening. Even if you can't make it live, still sign up because you'll automatically be emailed a recording of it. So there you go. You're in the best spot too. If you are brand new and you know nothing, that means you don't even have any bad habits. That's truly, like, you are in the best spot because you will get to skip steps. The steps you get to skip are breaking bad habits, but that's also under the assumption that you check out that webinar. But yes, people that are genuinely brand new are in the best spot possible. Their journey will be quicker just because they don't have to go through the steps of breaking bad habits. But that assumes you get the right structured education and all that. Correct. Yes. Thank you, Falling Forward. You're right. Only get to skip steps if they listen to good advice. And I'd like to think that what I have to offer is good advice. And it's time-tested advice. You know, I didn't just show up last week and start selling a bunch of stuff. No. I'm an old guy. Been around since 2013. I'm an old timer. Get off my lawn. Ooh. Questions. Or do I move up the short to right? Look at all this congestion right up here. So much congestion. VWAP, pivot point, 50 period moving average right there at 18,450. Maybe that's the short. So maybe look to play a fake breakout of that trend line. And that's what I'm going to do. Let's cancel that out. And yeah, let's go. Yeah, 1450. Where's that? Right there. Sell 2. There we go. That's going to be my new. There we go with my stop up there. All right. Do I need a PC to trade? You do not. Tradovate actually has a very impressive phone app. I don't trade it from my phone, but I'm not the be-all, end-all. I'm not sure there's any... oh, shame on me for not... let's extend this line out, though. Okay, and then... I was going to say we definitely... I don't know if anything is... You definitely need to do anything, but... Yeah. Oh, that's spicy. That's spicy. You know a bunch of people have that trend line right there. I like trend lines like that. Super easy to draw, which means you got a lot of people watching it, which means there's a higher likelihood of those self-fulfilling prophecies where things can work out. But I will also say right now, you got to be, especially right now, if this candle were to come down here and break down through there, I'd be a little skeptical because right below it is the overnight low, which could be a bounce point, and which has actually already proven to be a bounce point right there. So you want to be careful. Again, this is just entertainment, just me thinking out loud. I would be scared to short right there because, you maybe gets a little bit of a move to the downside, but is that short end, and then you get the bounce off of that level. Fed speech at 11:45. Well, Powell yesterday. Who's speaking today? Do we know who's speaking today? Usually the market cares a lot more about Powell than anybody else. Ben Flucker. Hi, Clay. What's up? Back again. I was going to say, aren't you the guy from yesterday? What time did you start today? I think I got here at like 10:45. I'll never be later than 11 a.m. I always post 11 a.m., but I'll never be later. Yesterday, I showed up at 10:30, and it was like crickets. Like, for the first 10 minutes, there was like 12 people here. And I was like, I think this might have been a little too early than what people are expecting. But today, the audience has been more consistent. Oh, I'm not sure that that speech gonna do much. I mean, it could, Pickles, it could, but yeah. So this is definitely a tricky trend line right here for the short, just because of those other areas below it. But I don't know. Do I buy? Try to play a fake breakdown of that trend line? Well, that could be spicy because I got to stop right there. Well, that could be spicy. Any better than yesterday? Yesterday was, I think, a decent day, wasn't it? Or was yesterday bad? I think yesterday was fine. I don't know if it was better than yesterday, but yeah, today's good. I passed the test. Green across all the accounts. Just started this account, and granted, one of these trades in here was not a good trade, but yeah, going well. Am I crazy? $36 down to 20. That's a 10-point risk. Yeah. We'll do it. We'll go. I'm going to cancel those orders up here. We're going to buy, and then my stop will be right there. So if I'm wrong, and if this is a genuine flush, then this will be a very short-lived trade. But if I'm right, and this is a fake breakdown, and we can get some sort of bounce, this could be a nice little payday. I have no idea why, Roger. I have no idea. I know you're hinting at, are you buying subscribers? Nope, never bought a subscriber in my life, and I can easily prove that via the plaque I have from YouTube. Because once you hit 100,000, YouTube does a huge deep dive into your channel to see if you're actually, did you earn the 100,000 or was it bought? And I have the plaque. But yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Even and me saying like YouTube's being goofy with him, and I don't know. I don't know. And plus, I just started live streaming, so I don't know, Roger. But I know you're like the ultimate skeptic, so I know what you're hinting at. Next time, just you don't have to be passive aggressive about it. Just say what you're actually saying. No, I don't believe you, Roger. Yours, and that's fine. I know you're a big skeptic. No problem at all. Be skeptical. But yeah, I don't know. If we have any YouTube experts here, I'd love your thoughts. Okay, we got the breakdown trying to get filled. You do have a lot of futures trading during. That was a move right there. Look at. Yeah, I got. Oh, yeah, I got close to hitting that green line, but not quite. So that was what I was looking for. Just did not get filled. And that's exactly why I was saying careful of shorting that line because you do have the overnight low right there. I could see it bouncing. Do you do a lot of futures trading during after hours pre-market? It depends. Usually no, and that's not necessarily to blame the market. That's just me trying to do my best to be a good dad. I have 6 kids, and that is I will just be honest. I don't know if I'm not looking for pity points or anything like that. But since moving into futures, it's a new challenge as a dad because it's always like, hey, the market's open. Why don't you go up to your office, see if you can get a trade in? But it's like, what? Man, it's 7:00. Like I need to spend some time with my kids, with my wife, all that sort of stuff. So no, I don't. But like I said, that's just mainly because I'm trying to be a halfway decent husband and father. But right now, it is a challenge. It's weird because that voice has shown up. Whereas stocks, it's like market closes at 4 or options. Once the market closes, I mean, it's done. Yeah, sure, it's open, but it's totally garbage action. But with futures, that is a new voice that has shown up. So again, I just say all that because no, I don't, but that's not necessarily because it would be stupid to do so. It just doesn't really fit into my kind of quote unquote real life situation. Yeah, and then on the YouTube thing, like I said, do we have any YouTube experts? So what I might do, because usually I try to do. Well, I'm always going to do my end of day top 10 stocks. I have no problem telling the model there. The model there is I want to bring people that are interested in day trading stocks to the live stream so that I can smack them upside the head with Pam's plant and be like, "Do you realize that day trading stocks is stupid? It's a waste of your time. You're taking on way too much risk." So I'm always going to do the top 10 stocks, but like then I usually do videos that release at 11, and I'm thinking about maybe cutting those out because I don't know, maybe the YouTube algorithm is not liking that I do so many videos. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. In fact, I've been saying this the past couple of streams, if not more. Like even subscribers, I thought they'd like start to go back up with the live stream, but they actually dropped a little bit. So that's why I've been saying now instead of hit the like button, also to throw in there and make sure to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, I do not know. YouTube has me very confused. I don't know if I said something in a video that got me blacklisted somehow. Maybe that's me just totally wearing a tinfoil hat. I have no idea. I really don't know. And if there are any YouTube experts here, I'd be happy to get your thoughts on that. So once again, coming back down, I would be still too scared to short right here because we have these areas of support. But I am also too scared to buy right now because this big rejection right here, I can see that creating enough fear where now this is actually the bearish move. But I can see it the other way too. So in other words, it seems kind of like a coin flip, and I'm not here to do coin flips as a trader. So I'm not quite sure what to do here. But again, I would not consider either camp crazy. Like I see the logic, and that's always as long as you're managing risk, I can see why people would be getting short. I can see why some people might be getting long here. I understand the logic, and I'm glad the fact that there is logic is good. Doesn't mean it'll work out. That's why risk management is paramount, but I do see the logic of both sides, which is always a good thing. What you don't want to hear is, yeah, so why'd you make that trade? I don't know. It's like, okay, so you're just making it up as you go. That would not be a sustainable model. Do you know how to turn on the ONL? I think I just need to make a video on this. I get people asking almost every other live stream. You come up to indicators, you go to explore community indicators, which you can't see, but down here it says exploring community indicators, and then it's this one right here. If you type in over ONHL, this EMON overnight high low will come on, and then you have to add that in. So that is how you get the overnight high and low, which I would argue is definitely a good thing to have. And I think, I mean, it's all just self-fulfilling prophecies. Like, enough people say, hey, pay attention to the overnight high, pay attention to the overnight low. And I mean, it carries quite, I mean, look at that. Acted as resistance. Then when it broke, acted as support. Then when it broke again, acted as resistance, which is what you would expect. Then when it broke, acted as support, support, support again. Well, I shouldn't have been so scared. I should have just said, hey, let's give another try for the fake breakdown. So if anybody did play the fake breakdown, congratulations. You got a very nice bounce. Did anybody do that fake breakdown? Oh, got up through the, that orange line is yesterday's close. Another area that maybe, you know, no level is a holy grail. But, you know, if you want to maybe throw it on your chart, it might be worth keeping an eye on. I am still interested in short up around, you know, this congestion area here on the 5-minute. We're just not anywhere close to it right now. But the more and more these bounces here fail, the more and more juicy this breakdown here becomes. Because every single bounce, think about what that's doing to the emotions of the longs. The longs are all excited. The longs are feeling great. And then all of a sudden, all those positive feelings are smashed into the ground because now, I mean, and it's easy to know this because just ask yourself, if you're a long and you're buying down here and you got the big move, how would you be feeling? You'd be feeling on top of the world. You'd be feeling great. But now ask yourself, how would you be feeling if this is what you now were looking at? You would be just, your heart would be crushed. You'd be upset, frustrated, mad, depressed, irritated, like any negative emotion. That's what you would be right now. But notice how it continues to putz around right there at that overnight low. So yes, you got to think that there is a bunch of longs right now absolutely just devastated. But you got to think, where is their stop at? Where's the long stop at? I can see their stop being somewhere right there. So if the price hits that level, then I could see this getting another surge to the downside, that just being the long stops starting to go off. But right now the longs they still have, you know, they can be discouraged and all that, but they can say, but it's you know, it's still above my stop, it's still above these areas of support, and to be fair to them, that is true. Austin, can you swing trade futures? I heard it's similar to stocks with you can, but that's not what I do. That's not what I advocate for. I advocate for Pam's Plant, but Pam's Plant is an argument for day trading futures through a prop firm. So if you're looking to swing trade, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you can, but I don't, doesn't make sense. What do you have to keep in mind? I'm not sure about any of that. But yeah, you can swing trade futures. Just make sure that you understand what you're doing because you don't want to end up with like cattle at your door or like barrels of oil at your door. Because that's what you're doing with futures. You're trading commodities and stuff like that. You know, you don't want a semi driver knocking on your door. Yeah, you're 30 tons of corns here. You don't want that. So make sure, you know, you're out before contracts expire and all that good stuff. Garbage price action? Oh, I don't know. I think today's been pretty good price action wise. Maybe unless Jay, you're talking about this right now. Yeah, this has been choppy for both parties. But to be fair, Jay, I mean, if you're using the overnight low, there's some longs that are like, Jay, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I've been scalping this thing off of the overnight low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're on their 5th scalp right now. So, I mean, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. I hear what you're saying, though, but yeah. People that like to play bounces and like to play the overnight low, they're getting paid once again. Buy on the overnight low, bounce, up it goes. And I don't know, are they shorting up here at the orange line, which is yesterday's close? The 2 hours. The past 2 hours has been great. Man, I mean, I've had a really good day. Got this account passed, up over 53,000. Had a good day in my 150K account. And now on this fresh account that I started here for the live stream, doing fine on a couple of trades, just doing micros, no big, huge position sizing. So again, Jay, I'm not denying maybe for your strategy, it's been bad, but I mean, for what I'm looking to do, I think it's been really solid. But yeah, that's a beautiful thing about trading. Two traders can look at the action. One can say, man, this has been beautiful. Beautiful like Clay's face. Other people would be like, man, it's been bad. Picture perfect bull pennant on the daily. All right, so for those of you that like to use a daily time frame, sounds like there's a bull pennant. Hey, that lower trend line there was respected 3 times and got me a quick buck today. So today's, yeah. So like Mad Mac, he's saying, hey, the action's good for me. Explains the range action we have today. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line, but I think a lot of people around the world have probably drawn on this line, so maybe we can get some self-fulfilling prophecies with it. Ooh, could we even extend it out even more? I don't know. Let's see. How does this look? Nah. All right, I don't want that one. But you got to think. Back down to the overnight low it goes. There we go. Wow. Now, I should probably do it just to see if we get some comedy. Like, is it the time I finally buy the overnight low? Is that the time where it flushes? Or am I just being stupid? Am I just being stupid again for not doing it? But I mean, surely it can't keep bouncing off of that, can it? One of these has got to be the time where it finally just releases, doesn't it? It's like it's got to work that way, right? That's how the market works, isn't it? There are guarantees. I'm buying and DCA. Alrighty. Hey, Monkey Key Trader. NVIDIA needs to hold. Hey, Monkey Key Trader. We've already tried. Are you Monkey Key Trader? Are you day trading NVIDIA? What's the other time frame telling you? Other time frame is pretty much just still putzing around. Yeah, I can't say the 5 minutes real. I mean, the 5 minute makes me think this thing wants to go down. I mean, look at all these failed bounces. Eventually, right? I mean, the bears have got to just finally wear out the bulls, right? That's guaranteed to happen, isn't it? Guarantees exist. But you got to respect the overnight low. This thing has been rock solid. Rock solid. So again, that line represents where I think longs have their stops. So if it does hit that level, I can see it. No, just watching if NVIDIA breaks for the fall, hold for the bounce. Oh, so you're like swing trading. Okay, all right. That's fine. I have nothing against stocks if you're swing trading. But if you're day trading stocks, boy, is that a waste of time and capital. Do you trade the London session and the pre-market? Like I was just saying, when is London session? Isn't that like 3 a.m. Eastern? It's 3 a.m. Yeah, I think that's a London session, isn't it? Yeah, no. Okay, so whoa, what time is it? Oh. Whoa. Noon. What's at noon? Something happened. What was the news event at noon? Well, once again, the overnight low held. But what, was there some sort of news? I bought each of those lows and DCA my way up. Well, I'm not quite sure how you made money. Unless you bought there, then you bought there, then you bought there, then you bought there, and then you were able to scalp out here. Okay, that. Does anybody know what happened at noon? There was some sort of news. Jay, I'll get to your question, my friend. Just hold your horses, my friend. We got some crazy action here that I want to watch. And I'm not talented enough to watch action, kind of comment on it, and then answer questions at the same time. But I saw your question. I'll get to it. I'm just not highly motivated right this second because I answered that question about 10 minutes ago. I'll answer it again, but like I said, my motivation level, okay, here we go. Okay, this broke the bull spirits, didn't it? All the way up here and then back down. The bull's got to be ready to wave that white flag. It's got to come down. The bulls have no reason to sell right now. To be fair to the bulls, they have no reason to get out. It is respecting these areas of support. We have a little bit of a support zone here. So I get it. I understand why longs are holding. They're saying, yeah, this is not ideal. Yeah, this has me feeling pretty miserable, but it still hasn't broken through these lows. It's still above the support zone. Well, yeah, that was a spike at noon. So there had to have been something at noon. I don't know. That was just kind of almost too random of a time for a spike to happen right at the round number of noon. Friendly reminder, everybody, markets are closed tomorrow. Well, they close tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern and will open back up Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Closed for Good Friday. All right, is this fun? I mean, come on. Look at the 5 minute. What am I missing here? Look at all these rejected bounces. This is some crazy action right now. How are the bulls still hanging on? These are the most resilient bulls ever. Like it's like the obvious thing right now seems to be like, well, just get short because the bulls are gonna wave the white flag here, but they just won't do it. They will not do it. Right? Do I get short or is that too obvious? Or is it going to be every time the market is closing for a long weekend, we have weird price action like this. It is normal. I mean, I don't know if this is like weird. It's just a support level. I'll just go with one because this is super sketchy. All right, I'm in short. Just one micro. So if I'm wrong, it won't be a pleasant experience, but come on now. This is where you got to go, right? Bulls, your longs, you're waving the white flag. I'll put my stop right up there. Because I'm looking for the breakdown now. This should be the moment. I'll give it some wiggle room. My wiggle room is up there at the green line. But this is the moment, right? Where you're going to give up? Super sketchy. That's why I'm doing this with the bare minimum risk. Because this thing, it seems like it could also just rip against my face too. Now, again, if I was a scalper, I'd be good. All right, here we go. Okay, let's make sure this is a winning trade now. And let me start to follow it down because it should get an aggressive breakdown if my thesis is right. Come on. Push down some more. And I'll move my stop loss down some more. This will be a winning trade no matter what, so I'm green regardless, but just a question of how green can I get. Come on. Unleash the Kraken. Pretty anticlimactic breakdown. But I'll give it a chance. Like I said, maybe it needs a little bit more time to freak out some people. There we go. Let me move it down some more. So every time I move my stop loss down, I'm making more money. But come on. Let's get some more momentum. Come on. Come on, Cletus. Whoa! Just like that. So still a green. Woo! What is going on? Oh! Oh! Holy, what is, it is 12:05. What was the news? That just roasted some shorts. Woo! That's why you stops, folks. That's why you stops. There are some prop firms that just got roasted right there. If you're using your own money as a futures trader and you were short without a stop loss, you are roasted. Wow. How are we still at 61 likes? Let's go. Hit that like button. We're going on another. This next round is getting up to 75. Hit that like button. We actually only have 40 more minutes to get 39 more likes, or this stream will be 2 hours. So if you have not hit that like button, if you're enjoying this action, make sure you hit the like button. Let's keep the party going. Keep the party going. Hit that like button. Man, isn't that crazy how... Now, who was that? Trade with John. Now, that was a weird move. I will concede on that one. That was definitely weird. All this, nah, that's just bouncing off. That's just bouncing off a stubborn area of support. So I don't think any of that was weird. But that right there, yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. I mean, I was seriously like, oh, this is going to be so great. This thing is going to unleash and just flush. And then before I knew it, I mean, you all saw it. Whoop! Right up it went, took my stop loss out, and just kept cruising. Where has it done that? It hasn't. It's been bouncing beautifully off of that. John, I think we're looking at two different charts here. It has done that so... No, it hasn't. Show me where it's broken down such a well-defined area and then shot up like that. How was that a roast? Dude, if you got short down here and then it went all the way up there, that was basically almost a 100-point move. Like a 100-point move to the undisciplined trader is game over. You're roasted. Sayonara. Adios, amigo. Made $14.75 profit off that move. Hopefully in a prop firm, Ben. Hopefully you're not a madman trading futures with your own money. It is for sure broke down for sure. Told you. You told me what? It is for sure broke down for sure. Told you. Did you? Oh. Okay, up there. Short it, did you short it, Napa? Wait, why do you short it? Short it where? Where did you say to short? I wish I could see the times. Demo trading right now. Gotcha. Good. Well, where did you tell me to short? Because as of right now, I don't know. Like, the short worked out, and I did short it. But the problem is, my short all of a sudden turned around on me and whoosh. Gladly, I had a stop loss in place that was following it down. So it was still a green trade. But I was thinking it was going to be a whole lot bigger of a green trade. But man, that thing just snapped. I was able to close my short just in time. Good job, Ronnie. Good job. Does anybody know? Is somebody giving a speech? Does anybody know what's going? So look at the 5-minute now. Now, really, it's approaching my short area that I was curious about. But at this point, I mean, is this thing just going to keep rocking and rolling? I'm sorry, it up to you. Well, that's fine. You did tell me to short, but I'm just saying. Then you said you told me told me to short. Yeah, I'm just confused now, but that's all. I'm not sure where you told me to short. Like, where was the price when you told me? Now, if you told me the price to short, like when it was right there, I mean, okay, yeah. To be fair, that was a great call on your part because it did eventually go all the way down there. But if you were typing that message when the price was like right here and it was just breaking down, yeah, that wasn't really a good call. Because I bought at the low. I think I'm done. That means you're not done. We all play that game with ourselves as traders. Yeah, I think I'm done. That's just our the lawyer in our mind giving us an exit. So yeah, you're not done. And I would argue, don't be done, Roger. If you're in a good groove, keep going. Why stop if you're in a good groove? Sounds like you're in a good groove. I get killed when it does that. Well, I mean, yeah. I totally get it. I understand the short. But you all, it's like, is this like so obvious where it's going to be like a fake one? Like, what's going on here? I still took it short. I did it the bare minimum risk. But yeah, no, these moves, they will kill you. Because that was a more than valid short to the downside on the break. And then for it to rip up like that. That's why I argue, if you trade futures with your own money, you are a crazy person. Because that move with your own money, almost 100, well, at this point, it's over. It did go over 100 points. That's wild. It just does that for no reason at all. Well, no, there's a reason. Right down here. Like I said, what happened at this point? Was there a speech or something? It does. I know. I see. I disagree with your premise. If you're in a groove and you want to keep trading because you're in a groove, why would you not do that? It has nothing to do with making more money. It has to do with the fact that you're in a groove. There are days where you're not going to be in a groove. So I would argue, why not take advantage of the days where you are in a groove? It has nothing to do with greed at all. Just the fact that you're in a groove. And your results seem to imply that you are in a groove. Now, if you were down 2,000, you're like, I'm going to keep going. I would say, I don't know, Roger. It seems to me that you're not in a very good groove. It seems today that something's off with either you or the market relative to your strategy. Probably not a good idea to keep on going. But I don't know, your results suggest you're in a groove, so I'd say keep going with it. I don't know what greed has anything to do with that. Again, so set some new, Roger, so set some new key levels. See if those get hit. Clearly, you got an eye for the market today. Fantastic. Good job. You recognize, look at this. You recognize some levels that hit those levels, so set some new levels. See what happens. Your eyes on the market. And and you can set aside the whole, I wasn't born greedy, says the guy that's copy trading 5 accounts. Come on, man. No, I will say it. That does not make you greedy either. That doesn't make you greedy. But like, it's I could easily see somebody throwing that in your face. Okay, the dude that has to copy trade 5 accounts is sitting here proclaiming how he's not greedy. Again, I don't think you're greedy. I'm just saying that I could see somebody else kind of laughing at you as you make that statement. But again, for the record, just because somebody's copy trading a bunch of accounts does not make anybody greedy. Well, is it bouncing here, or are we going to go down some more? What would that be if I put a stop right? So 14. Yeah, 10-point risk. Let's see what happens here. Buy.
Order filled.
Sell. There we go. All right, let's get this into winning trade territory. Good. Following it up. Keep on bouncing for me. You're my boy, Cletus. You're my boy. There we go, Cletus. That's a Cletus trade for you right there, folks. That's a Cletus trade for you. You still here, Jim? Jim, you here? Isn't that part of Pan's plan is to copy trade? I swear people don't listen. Roger, like I said, my friend, I know you're very skeptical of me, and so that's going to cause you to like kind of have a confirmation. Like it's just going to cause you to want to argue with me. Like I said, I do not think that people that copy trade are greedy. I do not believe that. All I'm saying is if I put myself in somebody else's shoes, I could see them looking at you and saying, look at this guy that copy trades and then claims he's not greedy. That's all I'm saying. See, a way that you can, like, I would argue, succeed in life, and again, please listen closely, Roger, I'm not saying that you have not succeeded in life, but I think that if you can put yourself in other people's shoes and get their perspective on things, you could see what they may try to argue against you, and then you can come up with defenses, or who knows, maybe just have to be honest with yourself, oh yeah, that actually other perspective makes good sense. That's all I'm doing. I don't believe that because you copy trade, you are greedy. I'm only saying is if I put myself in somebody else's shoes, that you sitting there saying, well, I copy trade all these accounts, but I'm not greedy. I could see somebody else looking at that going, huh. Are we clear, Roger? Please, listen. Just stop always thinking that like I'm not, but you're not listening. So yes, you were, to answer your question, you were wrong in the sense of you didn't listen to me. You didn't listen about my argument. Yes, copy trading is part of Pam's plan because I personally do not believe that copy trading makes you greedy. And to be fair, maybe I was unclear in my explanation to Roger. So if anybody wants to chime in, like I said, maybe I didn't explain myself properly to Roger. So I will be fair. Maybe I wasn't as clear as what I thought I was saying to Roger. But I thought I was, but potentially I was not. Right. I'm talking about what your shoes were saying. And I had already answered that, Roger, which is confirmation that you were not listening. Because I know for sure I said several times, I do not think that if you are copy trading, that you are greedy. Like I said that a bunch of times. So I don't know why you're saying that. So what you brought up had nothing to, yeah, it just illustrates. No, to be fair, I also have to remember this. So to be fair to you, Roger, and others, I am like locked in. Like this is what I am doing. I am on the live stream. I am reading. I am locked in. For all we know, Roger is at work right now, or I don't know what Roger's doing. So maybe he's typing something and then he goes away and does something else and then comes back and then, which is, I don't know if that's the most efficient way to interact with somebody. Type something, not hear the response, and then come back and still keep typing. But like I said, maybe Roger didn't hear my reply. But yes, Roger, for the final time, I do not think that people that copy trade are greedy. All I'm saying is I could see other people looking at that statement and finding a little irony that some guy that's copy trading a bunch of accounts and then sits there and say, well, but I wasn't born greedy. It's like, oh, I can see that being something that they could throw at you. But me personally, I don't think you're greedy for copy trading for the 787th time. Thank you very much. That concludes this episode of Conversations with Roger. All right. Yeah. 5 minute never did quite come up as high as what I was looking for because the congestion area was more up here to that upper trend line. Where is this trend? What is this? Where did this line? I must have just drawn that and not. No, okay. Yeah, I don't know where that one came from. I must have thrown it on the chart and then not paid attention to it. But yeah, up here, like I said, I'm not calling anybody crazy. If you're getting short up around this region with a stop above your VWAP there, doesn't mean it'll work. But I see the logic. I get you. I would not call you crazy. I would not say that that's like some sort of degenerate entry. All right, we need 31 more likes, and we have 28 minutes to do it. So the likes have dropped off quite a bit. But as I was explaining, I'll go for 2 hours. But if we want the party to continue beyond the 2 hours, then I need to make sure there is still interest, and I am gauging interest via the metrics of likes and super chats. So I'll go beyond the 2 hour mark, but at 2 hours, I want to be up at least 100 likes. So if you have not yet hit that like button, make sure to do that, or we'll do $20 in super chats. So either $20 total in super chats or the likes up to 100, and we'll keep the party going. All right. We could be getting, and I am. This is, yeah, I'll go short right up there. But this is definitely a stronger move here, but we'll see what happens. Again, hit that like button so we can keep the party going. Or if there's a knight in shining armor out there somewhere that's going to drop the $20 super chat, then the likes and all that goes away. But let's get this up to 100 likes. The goal is 125. So looking to get short up at that area if it can get up to there. With these big moves, where is your stop? Not too far above. It's only 1 micro. I'm up 240 on the day, so I'm not going to throw in a hard stop right away. I got some wiggle room, so, but yeah, I'm not gonna give it too much. I think every trader should know when to stop. Everyone knows overtrading leads to giving back. Okay, right. That's why my premise is built upon that you seem to be in a groove. all I'm pushing back against is I'm not quite sure when somebody is in a groove that is the time to stop trading. Now, if you've lost a bunch of money, logic would seem to conclude you're not in a groove. So if you're not in a groove, then yeah, that's probably a good time to stop trading when you're not in a groove. But you seem to be in a groove, so I'm not quite sure that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, hey, I'm in a great groove, I'm crushing it, I'm going to stop. Whereas if I said, I'm having a terrible day, I am not in a groove, nothing's going right, I'm going to keep going. One of those I would suggest seems to probably make sense to keep trading. The other one I would suggest probably means would lead somebody to say, yeah, I don't know if you should keep trading. But that's just my thoughts. Like I said, I don't think that makes you greedy to want to keep trading because you're in a groove. I just think that means you're kind of following logic. Hey, I'm in a good groove. I have an eye for the market today. The market's really jiving nicely with my strategy. That seems like an environment that you would want to keep trading in. I'm 200 away from completing my eval. So close. Today, Channel RM, I had $39 I had to make. $39, and that was like the worst $39 I've ever had to make. But I did make it down here on this test account right there. So I did pass. Needed to make 39, but I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So close yet so far away. But just keep on going. Don't even think about it. Keep trading like you've been trading. Let everything take care of itself. All right, well, I think this is shaping up to be a 2-hour stream. So, which is fine. If the interest isn't there, then so be it. But the interest is not quite here, it seems. What's you like record? The like record is on stream is like 168. All right, do I still want to get short if it comes up there now? Because we're going through a consolidation. So now it would almost be like, am I shorting like the beginning of a bull flag breakout? I don't know if I'm interested in shorting the beginning of a potential bull flag breakout. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that order out up there. And that really is sort of what I'm curious about now. Do we get some sort of bull flag? So it's pulling back right now. We have that nice upwards move right there. So there is the bull flag. So if you're a bull flag fan, here you go. Maybe interest down with Easter. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we still got a chance. We need 21 more likes in the next 43 minutes. Or sometimes people drop in with a $20 super chat and we'll keep on moving. But yeah, let's see how this bull flag plays out. Maybe I need to get some sort of graphic on the screen that says like hit the like button or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, still trying to figure out a lot of this live streaming stuff. So now as far as I can tell on this, it's just kind of a waiting period to see, does this bull flag take shape here or what exactly is gonna happen here with it. But it is a nice pattern. Well, let me take that back. A couple more candles kind of confirm the pattern. I don't know if I would really consider this a full-blown bull flag right now, but like I said, if you do like the bull flag, it does seem to be creating one. Still curious about that trend line there. This has been on since, this trend line, we've been kind of observing that for over an hour now. Monday, you'll probably smash that record. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But right now we can't even get into the 80s, so I don't know. We started off so strong, and then things kind of just petered out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, though. We still got 21 minutes. So again, hit that like button, or I don't know. Maybe somebody's waiting with their trigger on the $20 super chat, and we'll keep the party going regardless. But again, if you want the party to keep going, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We're going for 100 likes by the 2-hour mark, which is about 21 minutes from now. So the 5-minute, 5-minute is, we have this pivot point right here, that brown line. And that's the area that right now is really presenting some problems. What's a good trading platform to start on? Well, Jeff, what are you looking to trade? And how are you looking to trade? Are you looking to swing trade, day trade, invest? Are you looking to day trade stocks, futures, bonds, forex, crypto? Like, I got to give more details than that, Jeff. Let me just ask this. Are you wanting to day trade, swing trade, or invest, Jeff? Let's start there. Okay, well, you definitely don't want to day trade stocks. If you want to swing trade stocks, you're fine. But if you want to day trade stocks, you're garbage. Random question. What occurs if you make more than 50% of your test phase in a day? I would say lose money on purpose. Now, that's not going to cause you to fail. They'll just adjust your price target. So it counts, but then you're going to notice yourself needing to make more money in order to pass the test. So the easiest way to go about it is just to make sure that it doesn't adjust and just lose money. So the easy way to lose money, I had to do this yesterday, is to just go to like the NQ and then just, depending on how much you have to lose, just buy and sell and then let the commissions add up against you. Because, every commission to buy and sell will be $5. So for example, if you did like, but if you did like 10 NQs bought and sold real quick, then right there, that'd be $50 that you could drive down in commissions alone. So that's what I do. Is sometimes maybe you'll go up a little bit, but you'll catch enough, or eventually you'll see it start to go down. But the key is you just gotta buy, buy market sell or sell market buy right away, and then just let the commissions eat away at everything. No, you'll smash it because all right, well, we'll see. We'll see. Howdy, had a green morning with 90% win rate and got offline to work. I'm hopping on just to click that like button and to say it. Happy Easter and have a great... Hey, thanks. Same to you, Frank. Same to you. We need more people to do that, though. I don't think we're going to make it. We are just stuck in the mud. Yeah, this is a nice pattern right now. Now, what I don't like about the pattern, what makes me a little leery is, yes, nice pattern, but even if you get the breakout, you could potentially get a rejection right off of that pink line, the 200 period moving average. So the people that don't have this moving average on, for them, it looks like, oh, great, look at this bull pennant, blue sky breakout, everywhere to go. But then they have the pink line here, which could very realistically behave as a resistance area. Okay, so there is the breakout of the pattern. No guarantees. I don't see why it doesn't at least go up there and tap the pink line. But once it taps it, that's where it becomes a little of, is that going to be a rejection or is it going to actually push through it? But there is the breakout of the pattern. I'm scared of that breakout because this is just one of those situations where you have a pattern, but right above the pattern breakout is some, pretty key moving average, which in this situation is the pink line there, that 200 period. So like I said, I don't see why it wouldn't tap it. There's the tap close enough. But now what does it do? This is the million-dollar question. Can it push up through there? All right. 15 likes away. Maybe we have a chance. Got 17 minutes to get 15 more likes. Let's get this up to 100. Let's keep the party going. Come on now. I guess everybody spent their money at the vending machine at lunch today. No super chats at all. That's all right. 14 more. Let's go. Yeah, right there. Did you not hear me say this? Again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm patting charts. Learn charts. Learn technical analysis. Is it a perfect tool? It's not a perfect tool. That's not my claim. My claim is that it's a very useful tool. And none of this, there's no hindsight analysis going on. You all heard me tell you exactly why I personally would not want to buy that breakout. And look exactly what happened. It broke out. And what I was saying, there are people out there that are not using the 2 minute, they're not using the 200 period. And for them, it looked like a big old breakout. And you know what those people are going to go tell? The market makers are out to get me. That fake breakout. Oh, what a cheap shot. The markets are all manipulated. No, it's not. What are you talking about? It came up, it got rejected off the 200 period moving average. That's as boring as it gets. That's the explanation. No need for stop loss hunters or manipulation or the market makers or algorithm. None of that. It was not a clean breakout. I realize in your world you thought it was a clean breakout, but on the 2-minute time frame with the 200 period, I mean the good old-fashioned boring 200 period, simple moving average, it was there and it got rejected right off that level. But you know that's where all the rumors and conspiracies start. People are just whoa, what kind of crazy manipulation was that? There was none. It just got rejected off the 200 period moving average. The straightforward, simple solution is probably the most likely. But there are people out there that are just so shocked right now. Their minds have been blown. What kind of manipulation is this? Yeah, I got that haircut. The wife special. Save myself having to even put on clothes to go to the hair, what do you call it? Hairdresser? Barber. Oh, what are haircutters? Hairdresser, right? Is that right? Yeah, I've not, my wife has cut my hair ever since we started dating, so it's been a while. But yes, I said, baby cakes, the people on the live stream, they think I look like a savage. I said, baby cakes, I want to look like a Greek god. I don't want to look like a savage. So she said, my honey buns, sit down on this chair. She grabbed them clippers and she worked her magic. Hey, Shane, good to see you. Been a while. So, the pattern's still nice, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is still a very nice consolidation pattern. But it was, like I said, and I'm still skeptical of buying the breakout. Why am I skeptical? Well, that 200 period moving average is still sitting up there. Now, the claim is not that it's impossible to break through that level. I'm just saying there was a very real threat that it could act as resistance, and that's exactly what happened right there. All right, there we go. There we go. 89 likes, 11 more, and the party will continue. Got about 13 minutes to get 11 more. I think we can do it. Stylist. Yeah, okay. Yep. Middle of 5-minute opening range, which tend to resist. Yeah, all right. Or you can just say, got rejected off the 2-minute, 200 period moving average. But yes, the 5-minute range, that could play a role in it too, certainly. You'll smash it because I'm going to go to work and try to change your mind. Still, you have any saved videos of you making big trades you can send me? I mean, you can go to the blog. There it is. It's right at the pink line. Are we going to push through it? Here's our trend line that we've been tracking forever. I should really just take that trade just to show this trend line respect that we've stuck with it forever. I mean, it didn't hit it exactly, but it kind of got up there. All right, Andrew. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You get to work. But yeah, if you go to my blog, you can just run a search function. claytrader.com/blog, BLOG. And yeah, there's a bunch of videos there if you want to use some. Something brown. On the 5-minute, it's stuck between the 50 and 200 minute. It's stuck between what? What did you say? The 50 and 200? I mean, I guess I don't really look at things as stuck between. I mean, you're right. I guess it is stuck between, but I've never really looked at. I don't base patterns or anything off of something being like stuck between. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but yeah, I'm just saying that's not how I would personally look at it. I'm not saying you're wrong to look at it that way. That's just not how I would look at it. Matt L, yeah, you're the resident. We're just waiting for you to roast your account and then come back and say, okay, now I want to get serious about this. So that's the stage you're at, Matt L. So we're waiting for you to, we tried to warn you yesterday. You didn't listen. That's fine. So now we're in the phase of waiting for you to roast yourself. Please explain, what does the opening range mean? Well, the opening range just is the range of the open. How you define the open is the key. So the opening range of, let's say, 5 minutes would be how high did it go during the opening 5 minutes? How low did it go? If you're talking about the 15-minute opening range, how high did it go during the first? Look at how this is rejecting right off that line right now. Amazing. We'll see if it can push through. But so the 15-minute opening range would be how high did it go and how low did it go during the first 15 minutes. That would be the opening range. Andrew, what do you want? Are you going to ask me for my bank accounts and Social Security next? Like I said, Andrew, I'm still super skeptical of you given our track record. Let's just, you got to just get to work. Get to work or just, I don't know, man. I don't know. 5 minute. Yeah, I owe it to at least get short right here.
Order filled.
We've been tracking this trend line forever. I don't know if this one's going to work, but I feel like I am in scalp mode on this one. There we go. I'll take the scalp. Thank you for the scalp off the line. We've had you, we followed you, and you just presented an opportunity. I've had a couple where I was wise to scalp. Other ones right now looking like I was not wise to scalp. Looking like I should have played it how I did these other ones and let it work for me. But there we go. Thank you, Treadline, for the quick scalp. Andrew is being difficult. Yeah, he's... All right, we have 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes to get 9 more likes. So if you want the party to continue, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We lost out on all the super chatters. We used to have some people that would come in and drop the $20 super chat, no problem. But I think they're not around today. So I think we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. If you want the party to continue, hit that like button. We're only 9 likes away. So if you have not used a like yet, make sure you hit that like button, and we will continue with the party and go beyond the 2 hours. And wow, I butchered that one. Amazing, the trend line. So here's an example, and I know I've looked smart on a couple of these trades today. I've had some good solid trades, but on this one, yes, I chose very poorly. I chose to scalp, and yeah, that was not the right move. Right off of that trend line. The power of trend lines, the power of charts. I know for some of you, if you're just getting logged on, that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but for those of you that have been on for the majority of the stream, you remember when we put in this trend line back here? You remember when I extended it out and said, let's just keep an eye on it. And right here, booyah, it finally came to pay. Unfortunately, I chose a scalp. Seven more likes. 7 more. Hit the like button. Let's go. Let's keep the party. I want the party to keep going, but I'm always at a crossroads because I got to be a man of my word. So if I say that the certain objectives are not hit, then I need to follow through with that, or else I'm going to lose credibility. So please, I'm having a good time. This has been a fun group, but if the interest is not there, then it doesn't really make sense for me to keep going. So please hit that like button. Let's keep it going. This is so confusing. What is confusing, Steve? What is confusing is your comment when you don't define this. Now, if you define this, your comment is no longer confusing, Steve. So the irony in your comment is fantastic. Uh-oh, we got a JJ. JJs are out there. Somebody just took away a like. Now we need 8 more likes. You got to define this, Steve. That was sort of mean. Again, I don't know what that is. Can you define that? But I'm just saying, Steve, I'm saying maybe you're trying to be funny. This is so confusing, but then you don't define this. Well, by definition, then your comment is confusing when you don't. Like I said, that's actually brilliant, ironic writing right there. Like that's good stuff. Okay, Steve, I'd be happy to clarify for you. I really would, but I need to know, how are you defining this? You said this is so confusing. So please clarify this, and I'd be happy to do my best to try to clarify it for you. That would be what you said. This is what are you doing? I am day trading futures using technical analysis, specifically candlesticks. And I get it. It can look like the Matrix. Seems pretty clear. Now, I don't know what seems pretty clear to you. Well, I mean, it's clear. Well, I don't even know what he thought was clear. But that is that's. Well, to be fair, he actually said this is so confusing with the question mark. So he didn't actually even say that it is confusing. He's almost confused about whether or not it is confusing. Because he literally said, this is so confusing. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. You didn't understand what I meant by this or that. Well, yeah, I mean, look at your, Steve, like in my defense, look at your first statement. This is so confusing with a question mark. Now, I do understand that not English is not everybody's first language here. We have people around the world, so I want to be open to that. But like that, when you say this is so confusing, like with a question mark, like are you questioning whether you should be confused, or did you mean to just say this is so confusing? I assumed you mean this is so you confusing. Okay, all right. So Steve's here to troll. Got it. Noted. Four more. Four more. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Four more likes and the party continues. But I'll assume, Steve, that you didn't mean to ask whether or not you should be confused, but I'll assume that you were confused and you're asking what this is. So I am day trading futures using technical analysis, specifically candlesticks. That's what's going on. 3 more likes. Now, whoops. Pull back to here. That looks pretty interesting for a potential long. The pullback, and can we get this moving? I don't know. I'm going to keep a close eye on that. 3 more. 3 more, and then the monkey's off her back. Let's go. Andrew, none of that is relevant to anything. If you want to prove your marketing skills, then just go do it. Like none of this is needed, my friend. I'm literally waiting for you to ask me for my social security number and mother's maiden name and all that other stuff. Okay, I do like this as a potential pullback point. Alan, greetings, Alan. Alan, hit that like button if you haven't, because this stream is about to end here in about 3 minutes unless we get 3 more likes. So we need 3 more likes to keep the party going. We need 4 more likes. The JJ just showed up. Like I said, we got JJs out there. So Habibs, which time frame opening range do they usually refer to? I don't know. Why would I know that? Come on, man. Which time frame do they usually refer to? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Oh, 101. The party continues. Boom. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. The trolls are out in full force today. I like the trolls. They help with the algorithm. The more comments that are made, the better it helps with the algorithm. So that's why I'm not too quick on the ban feature. Like I'm not like so Habib. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like I would just submit to you if you're asking about what they are talking about. I would say just go ask them because I don't want to speak for them because I have no idea. I don't know. I was trading 6 months ago, so now I am back to try. I have a problem with emotions, trying to fix that. Well, welcome to the club. The emotions will always be there. And this could be a long here. What would my stop be? 88. Yeah, if this wants to come up here, I'll buy. Stop will be the lows here. See if we can get a hammer candle and get some momentum to the upside. We have not had any. I probably shouldn't even say that. We have not had any losing trades yet. I'm going to jinx myself. All right, now if this drops down even further, I may lose interest because the risk profile is going to change. So I don't want to see it drop down below that red line. So like I said, that will change the risk profile and make me no longer interested. But it's holding so far. Uh-oh. No, right off of it. Okay. Okay, good. All the way back up. Let's see if I can get... Oh, back down it goes. Nope, that's what I wanted. I wanted it on that candle. Yeah, Ferris, I would just say when getting back involved into it, I would encourage you to consider using prop firms, because prop firms will, when you lose your emotions, lose your cool, they will they'll shield your risk quite a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna explain why I'm gonna ban Steve, because Steve is just he's showing up and he's behaving this way, and he just demonstrated that he actually has no idea what he's talking about. Do you think people notice how often your accounts change? On 411, you had a 150K account at 159. What happened? Well, I passed that test. So now that account is a pro account, which means it goes back to 150. So that's how that works. So that's what happened. But the fact that you're implying that like it's some sort of scam just puts you over the line of being too much of a troll. Like, let's see. There we go. So come around, joke around, that's fine. But like to think that you got me with something when it just reveals that you actually have no idea what you're talking about, that's just not a good look. Oh, I got you because I noticed this, this, and this. And then you confirm like, well, yeah, that's how it works. I grew my account to explain what Steve thinks he got me on and why he was, like I said, that's where I kind of draw the line. Like, don't accuse me of stuff when within the accusing me of stuff, you just reveal that you actually just don't know what you're talking about. So there was a 150K account, which I told everybody, 150K. In order to pass this and move it to the pro account, you need to make $9,000. So Steve was just saying, I noticed you had a 150K account that was at 159. And then it's just gone. It's like, well, yeah, it's gone because I passed the test, which means it goes from here over there. And then, yes, it does start back at 150K because that's just how prop firms work. You pass the test. Okay, now you're in the pro account, back to 150K. But the fact that he thought, like, I don't know, that I was like hiding something. I don't know what he was implying, but he was implying something like I was being sneaky when he was like, no, that's just how it works. And for any of you that have been on the live stream, you know that I've talked about several accounts that I've blown up too. So again, like, I don't know what he was implying. Like, I'm trying to hide stuff, but I know a lot of you here have been here and you've seen me talk about blown accounts. So, but yeah, that account was gone because I made the 9,000, which he acknowledged in his comment. Like, well, yeah, that would make sense. What you saw makes perfect sense. What's the difference between stock and NASDAQ? Well, Ferris, do you have 25? Well, let me ask you this, Ferris. Do you want to day trade? Let's start there. Do you want to be a day trader? Okay, and now you're asking, is it worldwide? So let me ask this also, Ferris. What country are you in? No, I don't blame him at all, Roger. The difference is he's throwing. Well, I mean, you saw how he was behaving. He was already behaving as a troll, anyways. So we already have that context. He was pretty iffy on how serious it was, but then to throw that at me, like he actually got me. Like Roger, like to give you credit. Like I realize we've bumped heads. Like at least you ask questions, but to like I noticed this and this and this, and then built into it is an implication that something scammy is going on. But like all you're revealing is you just don't understand how it works because what you accuse me of is like, well, yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. Like there's a way to go about it. So I have no problem with people being skeptical at all. In fact, be skeptical. I'm just saying there's kind of the Roger way, which I would say is the right way. Yeah, doesn't mean that maybe heads don't bump a little bit, but it's a much better way than what Steve was doing. Ferris. Yeah, Ferris, I need to know two things before I can really try to help you out. What country are you in, and do you want to day trade? Oh, boy. I am from Bosnia. All right, well, let's start there. Let's see if Pam's plant would even apply to you. Okay, you do not want to see Bosnia on this list. Oh, sorry, my friend. If you do see your country on this list, then unfortunately, the prop firm that I'm using doesn't really apply to you. So I am more of a day trading type, but I'll open and see if I can. So I mean, I would say you could still you would want to day trade futures because unless you have $25,000, you're not going to be able to day trade stocks and options. Just kind of by definition, day trading being, well, you want to be able to day trade like multiple times every day. And because of something called the pattern day trader rule, that's not going to quite work out. But futures just move better than stocks anyways. So, I mean, stocks, that's why I say day trading stocks, total waste of your time. I mean, futures move so much better, so much smoother, so much cleaner. The profit losses are easy to calculate because it's based on points and you know how much a point is worth. I mean, it's just cleaner. But yes, I would also argue to trade through a prop firm because a prop firm has built-in insulated risk. But with the one that I'm using and recommend, well, I will be fair. You could check out Apex. So I don't really talk about Apex too much here because I would definitely say they're more for the advanced prop firm trader because they have more rules and stuff like that. But I don't use them. But I do recommend them, and if you want to support the channel as somebody that's already using Apex or whatever, you want to get their current deal here, Code Clay is a way to support the channel. So you may want to check with Apex. Maybe they're open to people in Bosnia. But the one that I use and recommend, and again, I use and recommend them because they're much more simpler, cleaner rules. They have a better payment structure than what Apex does. Again, Apex, not a scam. They will pay you, but they also don't pay you as often as you want. You have to wait certain periods, and then they won't pay you full amounts. They'll only pay you certain amounts. Again, that doesn't mean they're a scam. I'm recommending them still. And they have a lot more rules. So maybe you could look at Apex. What was your name? I forgot. Ferris. But yeah, so what I'm recommending and using would not be available to you in Bosnia. If Apex isn't either, then yeah, that's kind of... Clay, what do you do for fun besides trading? I guess is fathering a hobby. I mean, I have 6 kids. We moved to Iowa. We bought a farm in Iowa. We're going to be building on the farm. Now, when I say farm, it's not like a middle of a cornfield. There's about 135 acres of farmland. And then there's other stuff called CRP, Conservation Resource Program. That's part of it. And then we have some woods. I like to hunt. I'm pretty big in Ohio State football, but I've backed off of that because I took it way too serious. Like, I'm the guy that, like, if they lose, it ruins the rest of my day. Like, so I am a Ohio State football fan, but I am also at the same time trying to wean myself off of that because I take it way too serious. But yeah, I like hunting. I just like hanging out with my kids. I like outside stuff. What do you like to do, Roger? What are your hobbies? What animals on the... I don't know. We're going to start with chickens. My wife wants to do honey, so we're going to get like... learn how to do like bees and stuff like that. Because we have a lot of like... I mean, thank to all of you USA citizens. Thank you. You're helping to pay... You're paying me with... Because we have about 80 acres of, again, called CRP. There we go. Conservation Resource Program. So like we're saving like quail and like butterflies and stuff like that. So the government pays, and when I say the government, I mean like myself. So I'm kind of paying myself back. You USA taxpayers, you're paying me to like save butterflies and stuff because when I bought the property, it already had this stuff on here. But that has a bunch of like cool flowers and stuff. So my wife wants to get into honeys. But yes, we're going to start with chickens, but we got to make sure that we can keep that. But yeah, we want to get into more of the homesteading life. I'm after that. I get it. Like, what? Shouldn't you be seeking after the Lamborghini and the yachts? It's like, I mean, maybe. Some people do. That's fine. I just want a slow and simple life, you know? Raise some chickens. Play with my tractor. The soil here in Iowa's pretty good. Grow some massive vegetables. So that's kind of what I'm after. I get it. If you want the the South Florida, the Southern California, the New York, the Chicago lifestyle, I could never do that. I hate traffic. But that's me. Like if that's what your ultimate goal is to have the penthouse in New York City, or the mansion on the beaches of South Florida, or Malibu. Hey man, go out there, crush it, get that, do it. Not quite where I'm after, but that doesn't mean that I'm right or anything like that. Sorry if I asked too many questions, but when making the logo, well, no. Like, I'm not asking you to like rebrand my site. Like, let's be a little careful here. Be a little careful. Yeah, you are a real trader if you don't have a Lambo. I got a tractor though. Does that make? Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know. I don't even like calling myself. Like, I like to just like I like to create streams of income. I was like, you know what sounds good to me? Well, my one of my goals has always been, because I am debt free, but even at debt free, you never own a home. Because you have this pesky thing called property taxes, where if you don't pay those, then guess what? You're losing that house. It's gone. So I've always had the goal, it would be cool if I could literally choose to do nothing, and yet I'd still be able to keep my house. Because the house is on something that will pay my property taxes, whether or not I ever get out of bed. So and Iowa has allowed that to happen. Now, there's several reasons why we moved to Iowa, but from the financial standpoint, with the tillable soil that I rent out to a farmer, my property taxes, insurance, the CRP helps. I mean, it's all paid for. Like, I literally would not have to do anything. I could wake up, lay in bed every single day, and my property taxes would be paid, which is nice, which has always kind of been a goal of mine. Because I'm not trying to discourage anybody in terms of to get debt free to pay off your house. Do it. I will tell you right now from years of experience, it's amazing how fast money builds up, how quickly the positive cash flow every month shows up if you pay off debt and don't have debt payments. So yeah, definitely get debt free. It is still, though, kind of a bummer that even if you have your house paid off, you still technically don't have it paid off because you got to worry about property taxes every year. And insurance, of course. Well, I don't know. No, I think insurance is only required if you have a mortgage, because the insurance is more so there to protect the bank than it is you. But don't quote me on that. I think you have to have car insurance, but I'm not quite sure if you have to have homeowners insurance. But somebody feel free to correct me on that one. They have Lambo tractor. Yeah, I know. No, I did not know that. I once posted a picture of the tractor, almost kind of like because I get it. The stereotype is the Lambos and all that sort of stuff. Again, who cares? Go for it. Get your Lambo. But I was like, ain't no Lambos here. Here's a tractor. And then people were like, Lamborghini makes tractors too. And I was like, oh, really? So I was not aware of that. Are you gonna be a redneck boy? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be a try. I'm gonna try. It's funny though. It's because we're starting with the pole barn first. We're building a pole barn, and like I'm talking with people, and like I get it. Like these guys have skill sets. They're great contractors, but it's just like, man, how do I even buy stock? And it's like, well, man, hey, let me know. I'd happy anytime to show you how to buy some stock from your phone for investing, because they're aware. They're like, I'm not gonna be able to do this for the rest of my life. I said, yeah, no, good job. I'm glad you're recognizing that, but sometimes I think all of us here, we take for granted the knowledge that we have. Not that I'm not saying that they're stupid. Like those, I mean, they're very smart individuals, but they're just in work mode. Let's get stuff done. Let's provide quality products. And it's just like, you might want to consider that, but like that, people don't even know how to do stocks. And Jim, hello. Property taxes, mine have doubled since I bought my house. Eesh. How did I get into trading? Surefire. No, you don't need it. No, you don't need it if you own your home. Oh, no, you don't need it if you own your own. Okay, thank you, Starfire. Long story short, in college, I had a book business. I sold books. I had a bunch of money in my checking account, and then my wife was at the bank. And they were like, hey, you have a lot of money just sitting there. Maybe you should do something. So we went and met. They sold me on, and I started off asking like, what's a dividend? Like this was my senior year of college because I was married my final year of college, which was the greatest lifestyle. My wife had a job, so I had a sugar mama for 1 year. So that's really the ticket. The holy grail lifestyle is the sugar mama lifestyle. If you can get yourself a sugar mama, that'd be great. I'd go to class, come home, trade, and then my wife was paying the bills. So if you can find yourself a sugar mama, that is actually the life. But I had a sugar mom for eight months. But anyways, my wife was like, hey, check it, come in, we got to figure this stuff out. They sold us some mutual funds, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Then I started to watch CNBC, and I was like, that's interesting. I can do this better. So I sold those mutual funds, and then eventually got into penny stocks, thought I was going to get rich. And it was like, I can't believe I'm getting this engineering degree. What a poor life choice. That didn't work out well. And then from there, one thing led to another, and here I am doing a live stream on YouTube, talking to people around the world. It's kind of nuts. Wouldn't that be dangerous? What if, God forbid, you had a fire? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just saying. I was just more so asking about the insurance thing, like out of curiosity. Like, even like I'm debt free. I don't have a mortgage, but I still do have house insurance because I understand the probability of this game. Like, it's probably not going to burn down, but if it did, I'll just pay for home insurance. True mortgages require insurance, or they will charge you for their own coverage at an amount. Oh, okay, yeah. All I know is like you're paying for insurance one way or the other if you have a mortgage. No, like I said, Andrew, like I think a good spot to be, Andrew, just if you start with the Pam's Plant logo, you offer to do that. So yeah, do that. Let's see how that turns out. We're doing good on the likes now. The goal is 125. And I don't know, I sort of got distracted there just talking about, I don't even know how we got on those topics, but if you are enjoying, hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 125 likes here. Currently trying to start a drop shipping business. Yeah, I mean, I didn't invent drop shipping, but I was doing drop shipping before it even started. Like, that was my book business in college. So here's what I did in college. Again, don't do this. Drop shipping has ruined it. So I don't know. Here's my age. There was a site, half.com. Anybody remember half.com? They were eventually bought by eBay, and I don't even know if they're still around. But there was half.com, and then there was this other site that probably nobody's heard of called Amazon. Okay? So this was back in like 2004 is when I started. 2003, 2004. Anyways, so there was these two sites. And then we have this book. And this is book X. So, book X over here would be sold for $2. Book X on Amazon was being sold for $10. Keep in mind, they're the same book. I would list, so this is me. I'll go white for me. I would list book X on Amazon. Who wants to guess the price? If you're saying for less than $10, you're very smart. I would list it for $9. If somebody bought it from me on Amazon for $9, I would come over here. I would buy this book for $2 and tell them to ship it to that person. So I would, during the purchase process here, I would enter in the person's address that bought it for me for $9 here. And then, now it didn't break down to this exactly because there were some commissions and stuff like that. But then I would pocket the $7 in my pocket. So I would make $7 without ever owning the book. At the peak, and this was all manual. So this was like, I had no life in college. Like, I would study and then I would go and do the book business. But at the peak, I can't remember. It was either like 57 or 58. I'll go on the air. I had 57,000 books listed but I did not own them. And that's what I did. So yeah, it worked out well. Was able to buy my wife's engagement ring. was able to graduate from Ohio State debt free because I was like, mom and I was like, I don't want any more of these loans, paying off the loans. I'm just going to pay for myself as I went through. Bought my wife's engagement ring, paid for our honeymoon. And then, like I said, had a bunch of money still sitting around. So they were like, hey, like there's all this money sitting in your checking account. Maybe you should consider the markets. But that was drop shipping. That was now, like I said, now everybody's probably looking like, dude, that's like, yeah, no kidding. You're drop shipping. Yeah, I realize that now. But back then, there was no drop shipping courses. Nobody was talking about it. I kind of just reverse engineered a little bit of it. But that's how it really got started. That's how I got the money to get into trading. But yeah, I don't know. Now I'm curious. Is half.com even around? It is. Oh, no, it just goes right to eBay. Okay. I know eBay bought them, but yeah, now if you go to half.com, it just redirects you right to eBay. Okay. Yes, and this is still when Amazon was not as popular, so people, it was so popular, so people would go to Amazon for their books, but they wouldn't even know about half.com, but I did. And then I use other sites too. But yeah, Amazon was popular enough where people would just go to Amazon because Amazon sells books, right? So let's go to Amazon. But they wouldn't even think. Let's see if this site is still. So here's, if you ever buy a book, use this site. Assuming it's still around. Let's see. Book finder for you. Is that still around? Here we go. Use this site. So what I would do is when somebody would buy, what, my internet? Why is that not? Yeah, we're still working. Okay, there we go. So somebody would buy, and again, I'm being dead serious. If you're ever gonna like, you want to buy a book, go to this and type it in right here because it'll search 130 bookstore. Wow, even more than back in the day. I can't believe this site is still around. But you go here and you search, and that's what I would do. So I would get the order from Amazon. I would run a search here, and it would tell me where is the lowest price you can find this on the internet, and I would go and buy that one. Now the trick is you still have to look at sellers because like the seller you need to make sure is a good seller that's actually going to ship the book. So it wasn't always necessarily the lowest possible price. You'd want to make sure you would buy it from a good seller. But that one I'd use. There's a book. I don't know. There are some other sites like this, but yeah, if you are going to buy any sort of physical book, start with this site first. Don't just go to Amazon, because you may end up overpaying. Sorry, I'm trying to look over there. So yeah, that was how I made my money in college, how I graduated from college debt free, and I did everything else. We had a bunch of storm damage in my area, and you could tell who didn't have insurance because they didn't even get their roofs done like everyone else. Yikes. I bet home insurance and I don't know. We get tornadoes here. I don't know how that really factors things in. We do need to get this tread. This has got to be a tread line to keep an eye on here. There we go. Andrew trading is hard and takes a lot of time to understand price action. Just got my opinion, but it can be done. Roger, would you recommend drop shipping now that the industry has been oversaturated in the last 5 years? Oh yeah, no. Like I said, I don't think it's even possible because it's so saturated. Like that model that I was using, like it's totally gone away. Like I don't know. We could do some research. We could see if there's any deals out there. But the pros back then, they had it all. So from my understanding, there was 4 guys that went to MIT. So brilliant. And they had it all computerized. Well, they would have programs go scale the internet and like find the discrepancies. But I had to do it all by hand. So like I did it beast mode. Like I hand listed over several years, like I said, about 58,000 books. But it was fun. Like, oh man, you went to Ohio State. That's such a party school. Yeah, nope. I didn't go to any parties. I was too busy working on the book business. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have I been perfect with money? I have not yet, or I have not. But If you are smart with money, it's amazing how money will kind of grow itself and then grow itself some more. So you think I should start drop shipping? No, I don't think so. I think the market is, I think like Roger was saying, it's been saturated. I don't think that there's any margins out there available. I think the only person that works in drop shipping is the person that like you're buying the stuff from that you have to resell. So it's kind of like stocks. Like they're trying to dump the stock on you and then you become the bag holder. But instead of like holding shares, you're just holding like, I don't know, necklaces or something. Evil Shaddix, I've been on a roll lately, 500 away from buffer. Good job, Evil. Keep it up. Just keep doing what you've been doing. B channel Clay Shipper coming. Clay Shipper. Yeah. Well, I just gave the secret away. Like, there you go. That's how I did it. That is the secret. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like I said, Andrew, I don't know if it, in my mind, it's not going to work. Like, it's so well known. Like, it's kind of come and gone. Like, I think the market has kind of absorbed it all, but I don't know. Maybe you found something and it'll work, but I would not recommend drop shipping to anybody. Like I said, even the vast majority of people would not have done what I did back then either, because it was all manual labor. Unless you were like a super smart coder. I mean, and I did try to pay somebody to do it. It just didn't work out there. Their coding was all messed up. Like books were getting listed for like $500 and it was supposed to be selling for like $8. Like it was just a mess. So the coder that I thought I found that was supposed to, that was just that was an early lesson in business. But all right, we've gone down some rabbit holes here, but let's keep looking at the markets here. Let's get a trend line in here. So I don't know. This is an interesting potential pullback point. In fact, maybe I'll take it because I don't want to put a stop below there because then I could just put it down below there. I was looking at some of your old videos. It looks like you used to stock trade and then you were options trading. This is futures trading, but in a prop firm. Did something happen? No, my community finally, well, I did a video on it, Jim, about prop firm trading, but I was doing NDX options, but it got to the point where it was just super hard to get filled because they were very volatile. But long story short, my community for the longest time has been like, Clay, you got to get into futures, got to get into prop firms. I'm like, okay, I'll think about futures. Definitely not doing prop firms. Those sound like the biggest scam ever. But this was a few years ago. But enough time passed where, members not only have been doing well with futures, but also getting paid by these prop firms that I was very skeptical of. And then it reached a point where I'm like, I just like, all right, let me give it a try. And yeah, it's I'm still pretty upset at myself that it took me until just November of last year to finally go into futures and then try the prop firm route. And like I said, Pam's plan just makes the most sense. In the category of day trading futures through a prop firm, it makes the most sense and like a mathematically based sense. Not like my opinion, but like I can prove logic through math that it logically makes the most sense for everything. So that's why I did it. And now I just do it because, I like I said, I have no problem. And I'll be totally straightforward. People are like, Clay, not to mention they have like referral programs. So like you could do very well just from the referrals alone. I was like, all right, well, I like income streams. That's my main job. I'm an income stream creator. So they're like, so I would look at these ones and they pay and they like I really didn't do anything. Like members of my community were like, you're going to want to do this one for these reasons. Stay away from those ones. And I've kind of just listened to them and here we are. But yeah, it's just like, I'm like, why was I stubborn for so long? Options, day trading, stock trading, day trading, pure garbage compared to futures day trading. I know that's an inflammatory statement, but it is the proof, and I can back that up that it is proof. Day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading Forex, or day trading crypto is a waste. It's an inefficient use of your time. Oh yeah, penny stocks are, again, from a day trade, well, from every angle, penny stocks are garbage. But yeah, day trading penny stocks is like a total joke. How do you feel about all these fake trading gurus selling courses, signals, discords, and not even real traders? No, I just do my own thing. It grinds my gears in the sense of people just, and like you were mentioned earlier, like I do understand where people are coming from to be skeptical. Like I get that. And as we already discussed, there's a right and wrong way to do it. So here's what grinds my gears the most, because it affects everybody, is like you tell somebody you like trade, or you're a day trader, and they're like, oh, that's gambling. So you're like a professional gambler or what? And it's like, no. The trading is not gambling. This is not some sort of casino. But what happens, and what grinds my gears is when people show up and they treat the market like a casino. So my claim is not that the market's not a casino. It can be treated like a casino for sure. But those people show up, they treat it like a casino, they act like a degen, they blow up, they lose a bunch of money, they fail miserably. And then it's just, well, the market's all manipulated, it's all rigged, it's just casino, it's just randomness. Like, you can't act like it's just gambling. Like, so then that's what they go and tell people. They're like, they tell people they're a trader, but then they behave as a degenerate gambler. And then when people know that they're no longer trading, oh, what happened? It's just all a casino. And that annoyance peaked for me when, I think I told this story a couple of days ago, but like I got a call from my mom, and I could tell my mom was really worried. And this was several years ago. And eventually, like, she just got to the point, Clay, you have kids now, you have a family, and I just don't want you. You're not gambling your money. Like, are you going to gamble your money away? And I'm thinking, what? She's like, because so-and-so at work was asking, oh, what does your son do? And I told him that, like, you're a trader and you have like a YouTube. And he was like, oh, well, that's gambling. And like, he put this negative twist on it, because I guarantee you he tried it, failed miserably. And instead of looking in the mirror and being like, I kind of approached that like a total moron, he just took the easy way out and was like, I'm just going to blame the market. It's just a casino. And as I raise my voice, you can see it grinds my gears. It annoys me. So the rest of us, and I include many of you here, we have to put up with people. Like, I don't even tell people I'm a trader. I try to avoid it, because I'm like, this person is probably going to think that I'm some sort of just like, it's just, I can't stand when other people call themselves traders, tell other people they are traders, but they're behaving as a total degenerate gambler. And then they give the reputation, they taint all of us as being gamblers, when I know you know this, Roger, but like, it's not gambling. Now, it is gambling in the sense of, yeah, your money's at risk, but so is crossing a busy street. That is a gamble. You're gambling with your life. But there are things you can do in crossing the street to give yourself an edge. What is one of those things you can do in crossing the street with that gamble to give yourself an edge? Well, we're all taught it as kids, right? You look both ways. Looking both ways is a risk management procedure. Same is true for trading. It's a risk, but there are things you can do to manage risk, to give yourself edges. So it's not a gamble in that sense. Now, what would be a pure gamble, just like poker's not gambling, right? There's a reason why there's professional poker players. But has anybody ever heard of a professional slot machine player? No, well, because slot machines is total gambling in the sense of there's nothing you can do to give yourself an edge. It is a genuine gamble. That's not what trading is. Man, yeah, so that's what actually grinds my gears. Is people out there acting like total moron degenerates, and then people like us, Roger, and others that are treating this stuff seriously, that are managing risk, that are mapping out trade plans, and then we have to like deal with the like I said, what set me off was just that guy literally worrying my mom, like had my mom thinking that I was like risking my family's wealth because I was doing something that was just completely like basically playing the slot machines. Like people like that, oh man, like I said, that's what grinds my gears. Well, I don't know, Jim, how you define serious money, but I've gotten paid, and it's worth my time. But I also will say, Jim, that I do not believe that anybody's goal should ever be to be a full-time trader. I've never been a full-time trader. I couldn't be a full-time trader. It'd be too much pressure for me. especially right now in this phase of life with 6 kids. Way too much pressure. That's why from day one, I've never called myself a full-time trader. I list out, trading, and I do real estate investing, and I have claytrader.com. I literally have farmland in Iowa now. So I believe, and this belief comes from, I'm not reinvent the wheel. Every wealthy person I've ever studied, and you can go do the same, don't believe me, but spoiler alert, you're going to notice every wealthy person has many streams of income. So that's what I think everybody's core goal should be, multiple streams of income. Because multiple streams of income can make trading as a stream of income much easier when you don't have the pressure of, I have to make money, I have to pay the bills. So if that makes me a terrible trader, because I admit, no, there's no way I could ever be a strictly full-time trader in the sense of my only stream of income is from trading. If that makes me a bad trader, then I'm a bad trader. But I will wear that badge of honor that I could never do it full-time. Again, full-time being defined as strictly my only source of income. And before anybody goes and says, well, I know so-and-so that's full-time. Yeah, who's that? And then they name me somebody with a YouTube channel. It's like, they're not full-time then. They're making money from their YouTube channel, which again, so am I. So good for them. I'm just saying they're not actually a full-time trader. They're creating multiple streams of income, which is wise and which I think everybody should be doing. Where does my bio say I'm a full-time trader? It says I'm a full-time trader and then lists a bunch of other things, doesn't it? I know that said, I've been trying to change that because I'm like, that's not exactly. But I'm pretty sure it says full-time trader, real estate investor, blogger, coach. Doesn't it say a bunch of things? So I think I'm assuming that people would kind of connect okay, yeah, he trades and he does trading and he doesn't have a normal job, but he's also investing in real estate. He's also coaching. He's running. I'm so old. I realize blogs are not even really a thing. But I don't know. Is there still, Jim, where did you see this where it only said I'm a full-time trader? Because I'd like to get that fixed. It's always the people who tried and failed or people who have never traded the most to say. I know exactly. Yeah, Roger, 100%. 100%. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again, but yeah, that's what grinds my gears. Hey, the goal is 125 likes. We're getting close. So if you have been here and if you enjoyed my little rant on us traders being just slot machine gamblers, hit that like button. If you have not hit the like button. And again, as a reminder to people, markets are closed tomorrow for Good Friday. So markets closed today at 5 p.m. Eastern and will open back up Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I'll have to, where is that at? Is that on my YouTube profile? I think if I remember right, when I was thinking about that, I meant full-time in the sense of I'm not working a 9-to-5 job, but I also wanted to compensate that by saying, but that's not the only thing that I'm doing because I do these other things too. So I think I think that's why I say full-time to illustrate that I'm not working a 9-to-5. Not that there's anything wrong with the 9-to-5, but that I also do these other things. So yeah, I'm kind of banking on people can maybe make that distinction, but at the same time, Jim, I can see where maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a contradiction of terms on my part to say that I'm full-time and then I list all these other things. So yeah, I can see how that would be confusing. That's fair. That's fair. So I mean, my hindsight trading bias is why didn't I take that short? I don't know if I actually would have, but there was a break of that trend line and then down to here. Okay, so this is the support right now. So, yeah, I could see, let's see, what would that be? 71 up to 91, 20-point risk. Yeah, I can risk that. So if it wants to come down here, I would take that short stop above the highs here. See if we can get a breakdown of this level. I should probably wait to see if it can break down. Yes, I'm at a risk of a fake breakdown. Like I said, I'm green enough on the day where I'm willing to, like I said, it's afternoon trading. I'm not the best. Well, never mind. Risk profile just changed. Whoops. Let's just exit all that out. So I liked it when I could put my stop right there, but now that it's shooting up here, I don't like putting my stop right there. So have you ever mentored someone and has been like, this guy has no hope in making it in the long term? I've met a few. No, not just because. The only reason I say no is because I've met several people that, Like, let me put it this way. If you were to just give me like a profile of somebody and I just read through it and I'm like, no, they're not going to make it. Like, some of those people have made it. So I always kind of just, I don't even default to that because, like, for example, there is one guy where, and I never thought this about him, but I'll be honest. If I just read the rap sheet, I would be like, no, there's no hope. He lives in Louisiana. He owns 2,000 acres, but all of it is swamp. Like, so it's swampland. He enjoys hunting ducks and shooting gators. He's got to be careful of gators and poisonous snakes because he literally lives in the bayous of Louisiana, or was it East Texas? East Texas, I think, has some, like, basically Louisiana. One of those places, but like he's like a swamp, like he knows the people that are on the show Swamp People. Is that the name of the show? There's some show on, I think, Discovery Channel, like Swamp People, that they go, and that's just like, I mean, they're speaking English, but you can barely understand. Like, it was like that profile. Like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to work out. But he's like, he's been on my podcast a couple of times. Lewis is his name, but he's crushing it. Wait, oh yeah, no. So no, I don't really ever default to that, just because I know that really, no matter the circumstances, some people, they can be like, oh, all right, that surprised you. Now, if there's somebody that's like showing up and they're just being a total degen and they don't want to listen to you and they think they all have it figured out, yeah, there are those people that I would say, yeah, you have no hope. But I think the premise was a mentorship, right? Yeah. So the people that I mentor are actually part of my program. They put up a good chunk of change, and that puts people at kind of a different, like, mentality of life. Now, that's not to say that if you buy my mentorship, you will for sure find success. That's not the claim. But the claim is, and why I have it priced where I do is, like, there's a different mindset at that level. But if you're asking Roger, just like Joe Schmo, like people that I've talked to I'm not going to name names, but yes, I've come across people in the chat room where I'm like, yeah, you have no chance. Or at least you have zero chance right now with your current attitude. Because yes, there are those where there's no hope for people, assuming they stay in the groove of their current attitude. But yeah, part of my mentorship, no, because those people have already proven that they're of a different mindset, based merely on the fact that they've put some of their skin in the game via paying for education, paying for the mentorship, and all that. William Pemberton, I thoroughly enjoyed watching your trades. Very helpful with reinforcing my confidence. Good, William. Thank you for the feedback. I would be looking for a long at the break of that trend line. Which one are you talking about, Jim? This one? First 1 minute green candle should be an add to the long side as well. This trend line, break of that trend line, is that what you're talking about? I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. Well, I don't know about that. You seem to be having, as far as I can tell, a decent attitude, but I guess I don't know for sure. Add here. Oh, okay, so you're going long here? If anything, I'm thinking short. But like I said, I don't like the risk profile. I don't know where I'd put my stop. I mean, I could put it up there, but that's too much of a risk profile relative to what I think I could get on it. I would be interested in going long down here, though. Yeah, I will go long there. Stop right there. Oh, that's a song by Jelly Roll. Yeah, I'm not too hip on the. Is that a rap song? Jelly Roll? Is he a rapper? Man, I'm sounding like the old guy now. Get off my lawn. What are you kids listening to these days? Oh, he's not a rapper? Okay, then I have no idea. Really, I'm assuming I don't even know if it's a guy. There's a person named Jelly Roll that's not a rapper? I thought I don't know. I'm just, Jim, good call. I think if I read it right, 1 minute green should be an add to the, long side. Yeah, good call, Jim. I think I'm going to get rid of this line. I think it's, we haven't really even had any back tests of it yet, so maybe I should leave it out there. Yeah. I guess I could go back to using that orange line as a stop unless it shoots up through there again. I'm still, this level right here is whispering my name from the short side. Are you trading this, Jim, or are you just armchair quarterbacking it? Where are we at right now, Jim? Are you taking these trades, or are you just, talking about stuff with no risk, just armchair quarterbacking things? I mean, that's fine. I'm just trying to gauge, like, are you taking these trades or no? I hope you are, because, I mean, you nailed it. For those of you that, this was a fresh account, started at 0 when the live stream started, previous to the day. The big event for today was got another account passed. 50,000 account is passed now, up over the 50. So 3,000 is what you need to make with the 50,000 account. I am trading prop firms, and got that one passed. And then right here is the 247 that I'm at right now. So that's the other nice thing. If you're not familiar with prop firms, you can have multiple accounts. And then there is the dynamic right here of nuclear explosion growth, which is via copy trading. So I'm just gonna use Roger. He's been asking a lot of questions. So Roger today has 5 accounts. Now it's not with Take Profit Trader, but the same principle applies. But Roger has 5 accounts, and he made trades today. And in one of those accounts, he made $2,000. However, because he copied all those movements onto his 4 other accounts, he actually made $2,000 5 times. So again, he only made trades that yielded him $2,000, but because of copy trading, because with prop firms you can have multiple accounts and then copy them to other accounts, then Roger, again, he only made decisions and he only made trades that gave him $2,000. But because he made that extra decision and copied all those ideas and such to those 4 other accounts, he made $2,000 5 times. So he's closing out his week with $10,000. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the big thing here with Pam's Plant and day trading futures through a prop firm is they open up that. Now that's a 2-sided coin. If you're a moron and a degenerate, then yeah, you can blow up a whole bunch of accounts all at once too. But that is one of the benefits of the prop firms. And I don't know how I got on that topic, but yeah. So Roger did very well today. Yeah, I've been doing lives for the past 2.5 months now. Still trying to figure it out. I don't really know what I'm doing. Still trying to figure out how to grow it and all that stuff, but I'll just keep grinding. I can grind, I know that. And they're fun. If I get burnt out there and it's not fun, then I'll just stop. It's not like I'm kind of past the phase of I need to do this, but yeah, I enjoy the challenge of trying to grow it. It's fun. Having some interesting conversations, meeting some interesting people. How old are... Good grief, Andrew. I'm serious. Like, when are you asking? When are you asking for my social security number, my date of birth, and my mother's maiden name? Like, when is that question coming, Andrew? All of this is so irrelevant. I mean, I'm 41, whatever, but like, this, I don't know, man. Like, it seems irrelevant towards what you're... Like, you want to put me together some marketing stuff or whatever. You want to, like I said, do a new graphic for Pam's Plant. That's fine. You can do that graphic, but all that seems kind of irrelevant towards it. This isn't plenty of fish. Childhood best. yeah. For name of first school, all the security questions. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, pet's name. Yeah, that's another one. All right, we have potentially a short here. I'll short that. Wait, no, wait. I have my order down here still. That's the. I totally. I wouldn't have been okay. At least I had to stop, but. Yeah. So if it wants to come up to that red line, I guess worst case, if I forget about it, at least I have my stop in play. First pet. Mother's. Yeah, mother. Yeah. Asking for friend. Yeah, I'll get that stuff too. No, when I call myself old, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that at age 80, I'm gonna be like, no, 80's the new 40. Because right now, in my mind, like 40 is the new 20. But I'm just calling myself old relative to YouTube. Like the YouTube channel, the website, everything has been around since 2013. So I'm kind of like an old timer in that regard. I know a lot of people that are around, like they showed up during COVID because that's when everybody kind of flocked to the markets. But yeah, I was already, so that's what I mean. When I call myself old, I'm talking more so relevant to just kind of the age of the channel and stuff like that. Hey, we're looking good on likes. 8 more from 125. And we're getting close to a potential short here. If it can get up to that red line. Do you think that there's a chance of it breaking that trend line? I'm not sure which trend line you're talking about. This yellow one? I'm thinking there's a chance it comes up to this congestion area and then rolls back over. But I'm well aware that it could rocket chip on me, and I'll just stop out and take my 10-point loss. But yeah, there's a chance for everything. You really can't play that game, though. If you play the it could or there's a chance, then you'll never take a trade in your life. You'll also never leave your house. Because there's a chance you could get hit by a truck, or there's a chance a plane could fly out of, or fall out of the sky. But there's a chance if you stay at home and wrap yourself in bubble wrap that the plastic is made of toxins that seep into your skin and then cause you to suffocate. Yeah, have a good one, Jim. Thanks for. I think this is your first time here. I don't recognize the name, but yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully to see you again. My dad at 88 bowled a 600 yesterday. Age is just a number. There we go. Holla. All right, it's trying to come up there and fill me, and I actually should be a little bit higher now because my tread line is up a little bit more. I'm nitpicking, but Austin Barone, shorts. Yes, I'm looking to short. All right, cool, Jim. Well, hopefully we'll see you in the future. No pun intended. Yeah, it was pretty good. I had a couple scalps that worked out. I had a couple where I let it work for me and it worked out nicely. Yeah, no, I agree. I call myself old, but I'm just saying that relative to, like I said, the channel's age. I remember when I thought 40. I remember kind of mentally struggling when I turned 30. But my dad gave good advice. He's, Clay, I remember when I turned 30, it seems like people just took you a little bit more serious. And I think I found that too. And I mean, like when you're in your 20s, like what do you know, punk? You're in your 20s. You're just getting started in life, you little maggot punk. That's kind of what you think. And that's true. When I look back at my 20s, was I a maggot punk? Probably. When I got to my 30s, did I have life perfectly figured out? I mean, of course, that's what 30 does for you. But yeah, now 40 was one of those where it's like, now I'm starting to get sore in areas of my body. I don't know why I'm sore. It's not like it really did anything. We are getting close to getting filled. Oh, come on now. So looking to get short at that red line. Got very close to getting filled. See if we can get it. I don't know, maybe. No, I was going to say maybe I get in short here and then put my, but that doesn't make any sense to put my stop above this candle because then I'm putting my stop in front of these other areas. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's go. 6 more likes. Let's get this up to 125 and let's hit the goal for the day. We didn't hit the goal yesterday, but yesterday was goofy with my internet going out, but we should be able to hit it. Let's hit it before the 3-hour mark and we'll push this beyond. We'll make this a little bit longer than a 3-hour stream because I'm still feeling good. So let's get this up to 125. Is it better to stop loss above the previous high? Okay. I think I've done this for you before, but I'm going to do it again just as a reminder. If you want to learn, before people freak out, I'm only sending this to certain people, so it's not. I haven't even talked about my program like directly. There we go. Go there. You clearly want to learn. If you want to learn in a structured way for me, learn from the beginning. Oh, you little tease. Look at how close, yet so far away from my entry point before rolling back over. Oh, I'll cancel that out. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Hindsight, I should have just shorted at VWAP. Why did I need to get up a little bit more? Why? That is how the cookie crumbles sometimes. All right, let's go. Two more. Two more in 4 minutes. Let's go. Let's do it. It's amazing how much smarter your parents get the older. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Met Greed. Says the guy that's being the illogical. Matt, yeah. I just hope you come back once you lose that account, Matt. And you remember the live stream, chat box in person that told you the truth and try to warn you. I hope you come back and be like, hey, man, account gone. Well, yeah, no, I'm loving on you. Because I'm telling you what you're doing is stupid, and I can mathematically prove it's stupid. Yet you see the logic behind it, yet you're still doing the thing that is, by definition, illogical, which is insane, which is crazy. Crazy people do things that are illogical. You are doing something that is illogical. So I'm not hating on you. I'm loving on you by telling you you're doing something mathematically provable that is stupid, especially within the context of you being new, which you admitted yesterday. So I am totally not hating on you. I'm loving on you. Just because somebody tells you something that you don't want to hear doesn't mean they're hating on you. I'm telling you the truth and not based in opinion, based in mathematical fact, which I demonstrated yesterday. That's why I love Pam's plant. Like you can, it's not like based on emotions or opinion. It's like, no, let's look at the math. Let's go through the math under the premise, you being a new trader. And yet, he's still doing what he was doing, which is stupid. By definition, stupid. To do things that are illogical is stupid. You did what? You have a prop firm now, Matt? We go back up. Do we try the short up there once again? That is the 127 likes. Let's go. This is a great group. This has really been a fun one. I like this group. This has been fun. We'll keep pushing though. We'll keep pushing. Maybe we can get this thing up to 150 likes. I don't know. We'll aim big. 84% rule. What's that? Is that like one of those retirement rules? Thursday is the best group. I don't know. Oh, Curls is back. Hi, Clay. You're not a high-frequency day trader, huh? I saw your bet holding on a short instead of scalping. Congrats to the green trade. But that is nearly 2 hours ago. Why not more action? Well, okay, Curls, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Because you think like if you're a day trader, then you've got to be putting on trades every 3 minutes. That's how you get yourself crushed. We call that forcing trades. A lot of trading is just patience, waiting for setups, waiting for edges to show up. So I am a high frequency trader. Now, am I a high frequency trader that's like running an algorithm, like a supercomputer? Now, if that's how you're defining high frequency, no. But I do quite a few trades every day. Nice job. Always good when you're requesting payouts. Yeah, they should be pretty fast. I took one or not yesterday, last week. Um, and it wasn't instant. Now after they approved it, it was like I had the chance to put it. Okay, I'm gonna get short here. Let's see, sell.
Order filled.
So this could be a short-lived trade if this thing is truly strong, but we'll see. Looking pretty strong here. And out. All right, that one didn't work out. Yeah, but they after they approved it, and then you like move it. So once you get in your wallet, and then you're like, okay, now I want to my bank account. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Just passed my eval with that bounce off VWAP. Nice job, channel. Good job. Good job. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the best move it's away. Yeah, the most powerful order out there, I know you longtime viewers, is this order right here. This is the best order that you can put in. SOH, the SOH order. Who knows what the SOH order is? That right there we're looking at is the most powerful order. Wow. That's why you want to use stop losses too. Good grief. Is there what time is it? Is there news? What happened here? Woo! That's Rose City. Without a stop loss. Yeah, SOH, sit on hands. Sit on your hands. That's oftentimes the best thing that you can do. Just sit on your hands. Don't force anything. Don't get crazy. Just sit on them hands. Oh, is Trump talking right now? Did Trump just cost me money? Did he created that big old move that just steamrolled me? No, I didn't get steamrolled. I had to stop in. But yeah, people that were, I don't know, getting short anywhere here, that went in a kind of stubborn mode. All right, so Trump is, I guess, speaking right now. I'm not sure what he's saying. He must have said something. Elon, options expire today. Good warning. Trump talking. Okay. Well, so in other words, this thing could all of a sudden be all the way down here. Welcome to the world of Trump and day trading. All right, I will get rid of that line now. You did grooming yourself? My wife groomed me. So we're at the 3-hour mark, so hopefully people won't judge my my 40-year-old back. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I'll be right back. rejection back down. What's your best advice to pass my third? Dude, you don't know, Andrew. Like, your plan is to sign up for this, which is great. So here's the plan of action. Sign up for this. Learn how to trade. Learn how to manage risk. Learn how to identify edges in the market, and then you can focus back on trying to pass your test. That would be my advice right now. How do copy trade with TPT? It says if you have 5 accounts, you can't do it. No, you can have up to 5 accounts. You can copy trade up to 5 accounts with Take Profit Trader. Yeah, no, Curls, I mean, the money that you can make from trading is mind-boggling. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That doesn't mean that it's easy, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. But yeah, no, you can make some crazy money. Crazy money. I'm not going to tell you, Andrew, because you need to stop what you're doing right now. If worst case, you're just building bad habits. Like you said, your plan is to join the mentorship. So yes, let's get that part of the plan done. You said you're going to join this on Monday. Join this on Monday, okay? And then from there, it'll all start to make more sense. Assuming that is your true plan, which I do, I believe you, that is your true plan, then stick with that plan. That is a good plan. Because you're going to learn in a structured way. Let's first make sure you learn about this. Because if you learn about this before this, then these things are not going to make any sense. It could all be the right information, but if you learn about the right information in the wrong order, it's not going to make any sense. So that is what I'm selling. I am selling the proper information in the proper order. How do I know that it's the proper order? Fair question. Because the program has been around since 2013 and has been developed since then, meaning I've listened to feedback, criticism. So the people that, were buying it back in 2013, it was incomplete. It didn't have as much as it offers now, but I did listen to feedback. People were kind enough to give me constructive criticism, which I listened to, so it has been fine-tuned. So that's why I feel very, very confidently in my claim that it's the proper information in the proper order. And add a little bit of spice onto that. That's also why it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Because if you show up and you're like, Clay, I don't feel like I'm learning anything. I feel like I'm totally overwhelmed. Then, all right, fine. Here's your money back. But I'm willing to put that out there because, like I said, it's time tested. I do not, Curls. I don't know who many people are out there. I keep my head down and kind of do my own thing. Yeah, I know of names, but do I know like anything about them specifically? No, not really. Clay, I made 467 today. Scalping a 15-second chart. Whew. Waited for momentum, jumped in, got out, or got green and got out. Hey, all right, if it worked. 15-second, that's a fast-moving chart. But if it works for you, sounds good to me. Is this a back test and go? Here is the back test. All right, Curls, cool. So you're promoting somebody that's probably talking a bunch of trash and falsehoods. Yeah, exactly. Confused because maybe people just yap without having any actual true concept or any context. So, Curls, if you want to believe that's fine. But then, with all due respect from my angle, then why are you asking me questions? Like, if I'm a scammer, like I'm sure that video is implying, then don't ask the scammer questions. Because that would imply that I'm probably scamming you in my answers. No, what is strange? Are you people on the internet yapping about other people on the internet without full context is strange? people operating from a worldview of, hey, if that person tries to monetize their time, that makes them a scumbag because they should do everything for free. This is how some people operate. And this is what they say. This is the argument. Hey, if you're such a good trader, hey, if you make so much money from trading, why do you got to charge to teach? Why do you got to sell a course? Why do you got to charge? Why are you putting that money out there? So let's rearrange this, because like that person, like the person that is supposedly the good trader that makes a bunch of money from trading, if they're so good, why are they selling anything? Okay, fine. Let's go through this scenario. Somebody knocks on your door. It's Bob. Bob is a brain surgeon. And Bob just believes in multiple streams of income. But you know Bob's a brain surgeon, so you know he makes a ton of money. And he says, hey, can I mow your lawn for $50? And then you say to Bob, hey, Bob, you're a brain surgeon. You make a ton of money from brain surgeon. Why are you selling a lawn care service? You should be doing my lawn for free, Bob. You should be teaching me for free. Hey, Bob, go mow my lawn for free. You're a brain surgeon. Now, I would submit to you, there is somebody that is a savage, a very entitled and greedy person in that scenario. I don't think I need to tell you who's the really greedy and savage, but that's why I reject the premise, hey, you're supposed to be some great trader. Why you got to charge money? Hey, you're a brain surgeon. Why are you trying to create multiple streams of income? Go mow my lawn for free. One of those people is very entitled and greedy. And quite frankly, Curls, it's a little insulting. Like you've been sitting here asking a million questions the past couple of days, and now you're like, is this guy a scumbag? It's ridiculous. Well, those people do. So there's nothing to be confused about. There are people in this world that are so entitled to the point that their mind works that way. Oh, because you're successful in one area, you should therefore just freely of your time, just do this for free. And anybody that doesn't is like a scumbag, scammer, anything like that. Like I said, if you're the person where somebody knocks on your door and they're trying to start another side hustle for like a lawn service, but you know about them and you know that they make money from somewhere else, and you say to that person, wait a minute, if you're such a good brain surgeon, why do you got to charge me for this? Go do my lawn for free. If you're that person, all I'll say is we'll have to agree to disagree on how you view life. That's all I'm saying. Maybe think about a little differently. Hey, look, the viewers stayed up pretty strong. I don't think I scared off too many, so that's good. Apparently, we don't have too many with that mindset. The one thing that helps me to just know that I'm doing it right is through my live trading, through my live videos that I've had. I mean, I think I have over like 1,000 live trade videos over the years. Is some people are like, Clay, you're a scammer. You don't even trade. I'm like, no, I trade. I have videos of me trading. So there is a cat. I've been accused that I don't even trade. Other people are like, well, you trade, but that's demo trading. And then I've done videos showing how, no, I mean, you can tell that like that's actually real money. So then we have people that I don't even trade. Other people say, well, you do trade, but it's not real. Other people are like, you're a terrible trader. Other people are like, hey, you're a good trader. Other people are like, hey, you're kind of okay. Other people are like, you should not be teaching. That's how bad of a trader you are. Other people are like, hey, man, like you really helped me out. Like the amount of, it's like, good. I think I'm showing it all. If I can have some people thinking that I don't even trade, other people think that I don't trade, other people think I'm a terrible trader, other people think I'm a good, it's like, okay, I know that I'm not trying to paint a picture like of a certain way. I'm just showing it out there because yes, there are plenty of videos if you go through it where I can see how people would be like, you're a terrible trader because yeah, I have bad days. I've had bad days. I've done videos on those bad days. So like, I'm not trying, and that's why I've said they are like my goal. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. My goal with this live stream is not to prove anything that I'm a good trader. My goal is right here, Pam's Plant. I am here to convert day traders of stocks, day traders of options, day traders of crypto, day traders of Forex to Pam's Plant. Why? Because actually a really it is a good idea and it's undefeated in terms of being a good idea. But B, hey, yeah, if you use my link and you support the channel, I'm getting something for that. And I think that's a good deal. I have brought to you a verifiable, good idea, verifiable based on Pam's plan, based on this argument, and then I'm getting a little bit of compensation for my time to bring you a good idea. Like if that rubs you the wrong way, then again, I think you would be the person that would also expect me to mow your lawn for free. Like, what do you mean? You're not going to mow my lawn? What do you mean you're trying to monetize your time? What do you mean you're trying to create another side hustle for yourself? Yeah, you're providing me a service, but you should do it for free. Yes, I'm providing you with, I would like to think, a good idea. But hey, if you have a problem with me providing you with a good idea, then don't use my code. Don't use my code. There you go. That way you have a good idea and I don't get anything out of it. So like if it rubs you that wrong, well, that's the main motivation here. Yes, I have 6 kids. My kids got to eat. I don't want them to eat grass tonight, okay? So use my code. It's really that simple. I'll turn it on. You're a savage. You don't love children unless you use my code. Because unless you use my code, Code Clay, my kids are going to starve tonight. I have 6 of them. Are you really going to be the person that's going to make my kids starve tonight? Bruce, are you a Michigan fan? No, people just want free stuff. No, I don't mind if you want to go for something free. Like if you want to ask me, hey Clay, do you offer any free stuff? That's fine. But if I say no, I've chosen to monetize it, I've chosen to sell something, then just my only problem defaults well then you're a scumbag. It's like, wait a second. That's where we go into, Bob and the lawn care. Like that's where I'm like, oh yeah, it never hurts to ask. So I have no problem. If you're after free stuff, ask the person. But if they don't give it to you for free, don't default to you're a scumbag. You owe it to me. I'm entitled to it because you already make good money. You already do this, this, and this. So because of this and this, you should be doing this for free. It's like, that's where I start to be like, I disagree with that lens to which you look through the world at. Wisconsin. Oh, I don't mind Wisconsin. You got our old defensive coordinator, Fickle. Which fun fact, when Fickle was, no, that was D'Antonio. My freshman year at Ohio State, 2002, we won the national championship. So that was pretty good timing on my part to just happen to be a freshman there. But I think Fickle was on the staff at that point. Oh, yeah, I've told everybody, I make way more through YouTube ads, courses, referrals is doing well. I make way more than trading. I've told it. Funny story on that. So when I bought the land here in Iowa, the agent who was, what do I do, stuff like that, and we're good friends now. But he was kind of like, so you sell this stuff where's your income? And I'm like, oh, I make way more from selling the courses and the services and stuff like that. I'm like, it blows my mind. I just like to teach, but the fact that people think my teaching is good enough to buy, it's it's unscalable. I couldn't keep up. I guess I could, but that would take on I would have to take on crazy amounts of risk to keep up with all that. And I think I caught him a little off guard. Not that he was trying to, but I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, I've said, in fact, I don't know. I have a video. That's why when people are like, you make more from selling stuff than you do from trading. I'm like, yeah, you're stating the obvious. I've done I don't know. I've done 10 videos on this over the years. But yeah, totally. It blows my mind. I genuinely like to just teach. But the fact that there's people that actually, there is somebody, so how I got into selling courses was way back when I did a free thing on what's called Investor Sub. It's the message board. And somebody approached me and was like, Clay, dude, that was actually really good. Let's partner up. Let's actually sell some stuff. And I'm like, no, nobody's want to pay for my stuff. It's just, he's like, no, Clay, seriously, that was actually really good. So, yeah, we partnered up. He helped me with it. And that was robotic trading version 1.0. I redid that first class. So if you do get the program, it's 2.0 now. But then from there, the rest is history. But yeah, no. I make way more from, I don't know, how do you want to classify it? From YouTube, courses, the services, the affiliates, than I do from trading, for sure. Man, what a breakout. Oh, I got to get, okay. Let's get short here. We are right at the 200 period. Put a stop a little above. So there we go.
Order filled.
Let's see if we can get a rejection off of that. Pretty sure I clicked the buy. Uh-oh. Hello? Oh, great. Now you're going to fill. All right. Well, now we have a glitch. So I clicked buy, and then I don't know. Was that like 5 seconds before the green line finally showed up? All right. Well, I'm going to stand away from this one. Apparently, Tradovate's got a little bit of glitchiness going on. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore anybody's messages, but I see that I'll compare. Just once you're in pain, you advertise protecting on money through a prop firm from Cascade, Iowa. Oh, nice, Bruce. Aimed. Okay, that's the Iowa State, right? Listen to Trump is physically painful. How did someone so stupid get elected? This Italian PM is really cringing. All right, Drew. I'm not opposed, but like, you're throwing a grenade. Let's try to keep politics. If we want to talk economics, that's one thing, but that's what I see. More money to you. He claimed the tariffs would bring in. Okay, Drew. Yes, we know. Okay, you're not a Trump fan. Got it. Just speak, but just, I'm not looking for the chat box to turn into some political, mud fest, with all due respect. Bet life was more peaceful when you sold book. No. That was hard. Like I had to manually do everything. Like I would get back from class and then like 6 hours straight of like, just because it was all manual. It was crazy. Can you please answer my question on 2-minute time frame? Somebody already did, Andrew. They told you. Here, then you have to go to custom time, and then you would type in what you want. So right there is 2. Like that second one is fine, Drew. Like that's a factual statement. He did claim, and we read that article yesterday. He claimed it would bring in $2 billion a day, and it's actually 250. Like I don't have any problem with that statement. That's just a factual statement. But the other one is where it's just like you don't have to make those comments. But I have no problem with that one because we read that headline yesterday. Yeah, he did claim it would bring in $2 billion a day, and it's like 250 million right now. So that's just an economic fact. I have no problem with economic facts, economic discussions. So I blew one of my TPD 150 accounts today. Got to reset with. So Elon, are you like? So Elon had one of these, and this doesn't make it. Blowing accounts is just part of it, but he had a 150, and he blew it today, meaning he lost. He lost it, which means he lost $4,500. But the question becomes, whatever circumstances caused Elon to lose $4,500, and I don't want to speak for him. So by all means, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not being accurate of your feelings. But I'm assuming that Elon is like, you know what? I'm glad, the things that happened today, and I don't know, he might have got caught in a crazy move. He might have just lost his mind, went on tilt, revenge traded. I don't know what happened. But whatever happened, it did cost him $4,500, which is why he lost the account. But did Elon actually lose the $4,500? He did not. He only lost the cost of the account, which was $250, which again, he got back. But with Take Profit Trader, when he quote unquote got the account back so he can try again, what is that fee? Only $100. So now $100 and he's got it back. He can try again. And if he loses it again for some reason, $4,500, did he actually lose $4,500? Nope. He would only have lost $100, which again, he could get back for $100. And for those of you that maybe weren't here earlier, how is this sustainable? This sounds like a scam. How can a company lose $4,500 yet they're only getting $252? Because this is all the test phase is happening in a simulated environment. So there's no actual money being made. There's no actual money being lost because, as somebody put it last week, it's kind of like a job interview. The goal is to get from the test phase into the pro phase. But yeah, during the test phase, it is a simulated environment. Today, 5th the day, past 250 pay evals, feels good. So how many fails did you have before you get those 2 passed? Because I remember you, Fazil, you were like the one that was like, just go aggressive, plan on like blowing up 3 or 4 of them before you get some passed. So how many blowups did you have, out of curiosity? Hey, and if you're enjoying, hit that like button. I think we can push this up to 140 likes. 6 to 7 blowups to get, so 6 to 7 to get the 2 passed. Is that what you're saying? Which again, to be fair to you, is pretty. It sounds like right on schedule, which what you said to budget for. Okay, well, good job. Yeah, Fazil in the chat last week, he was just like, just go super aggressive and plan on blowing up a couple. But by going super aggressive and getting the right setups, then you can pass those relatively quickly. So yeah, if he's got 2 passed and he failed 6 or 7, then yeah, that's about three fails to get to the 1 pass. So again, his all-in cost now. So we'll do some quick math here. So the first one, because he's doing the 150s, so we'll look at 150 here. So for the one, he did, so 252. He blew that up. So then he tried again, but the try again is for 100. And then he said 3 for each account. So now he's in 352. He blew that one up. So that means he tried again for 100. So right now he's all in for 452. So now that his all-in investment right now is 452. So he has now moved into the pro phase. So if he goes and makes, after he gets above the buffer and all that. So I don't know, let's just say he goes on a run now and makes 2,500. So he's got 2,500 in, and we got to divide that by his cost, which was, what did I just say, 450, I think 452. We got to subtract 1. Multiply by 100 for a percentage. He could be looking at 450% on his return. 450% return on investment. Now, I mean, if he makes less, and now, of course, he's not guaranteed to make money, but that's just what I'm saying is you can have a very little money, quote unquote, invested that you spend to get to the pro account. And then if you go on a hot streak and you make a few thousand, and then if you blow up the account, well, you still made the few thousand, but you only had, if you make a 3,000 before blowing up the account and you spent 400 in order to get that, well, then, yeah, those numbers, work out real well. Look at it as a cost of doing business. No, exactly. That's why I try to tell people, like, part of prop firm trading, part of the strategy, or in your words, part of the cost of doing business is you're going to have blown up accounts. I'm potentially interested in buying this pullback here. Wow, we're going on 3.5 hours. I actually don't feel terrible. A couple of days ago at 3.5, I was like mentally dead. But I don't know, I'm still feeling pretty good. And if anybody has any questions on the prop firms, please ask. Like I said, if you are a day trader and you're doing anything other than Pam's plan, from a day trading standpoint, you are wasting your time. You're taking on more risk than is needed. You're shortchanging yourself. And I say that more towards if you're a day trader of stocks or options and you don't have that 25,000, now you're putting yourself under the constraints of that pattern day trading rule. But in the world of Pam's plan, again, trading futures through a prop firm, right up here, you can see that there is no pattern day trading rule. So that should win a lot of you over if you are here and you're a day trader of stocks or options. That alone should have you be like, wait, what? I want to be a day trader, but I can't really be a day trader right now because I don't have the 25,000, so I'm limited in the amount of day trades I can do. But I do realize that maybe some of you, if you have more than 25,000, first off, great job in life, good job. But there are many other reasons as to why futures through a prop firm would still make sense, even if this one up here, doesn't really pertain to you. Still plenty of other reasons in the argument on why this is a good idea, a great idea in the category of day trading. So, like I said, if you have any questions on it or on prop firms in general, let me know, because I want people to do what is going to be make their life best as a trader, as a day trader, I should say. And again, Pam's plan is undefeated. A couple have tried, but they have not succeeded. One of the arguments was, well, yeah, but in stocks and options, some brokers don't charge you commissions, which is okay. That's fair. There are commissions in futures. I mean, they're not much, but there are commissions. So it becomes a question of, really, you're going to continue to subject yourself to the pattern day trading rule just for the sake of not having to pay commissions? I think it's valid to, again, pattern day trader rule, you're only allowed to make 3 day trades every 5 days. A day trade being you buy and sell in the same day. So that would be a day trade. But you're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days. So some people seemingly are like, well, no, I want to continue to do that, but at least I don't have to pay commission on those 3 day trades I get. I'm thinking, well, I'd rather be able to do just as many day trades as I want every single day. And yeah, I have to pay a little bit of commission on them, but at least I'm able to do as many day trades as what I want. So like I said, that was one attempt that I don't think was really that persuasive, and quite frankly, didn't make a whole lot of sense. If your premise is I want to be a day trader, then part of day trading is being able to day trade as much as you want. How do things change? Losses, costs, etc. once you get to Pro Plus? It's still the same thing. That is just a live account though, and they will force you to a live account after you make $10,000 in the Pro account. And that is why I also like them as a company, because it's a sustainable business model. Because if you are an amazing trader, you could, in theory, bankrupt a prop firm if they keep you on the simulator. But that is why I like Take Profit Trader. They're like, nope, you're a legit, you're a really good trader. We got to get you live. We can't have you, bankrupting the company. Can we get 2 more likes? Let's get this up to 140. That would be good. I was hoping for 150. It looks like we probably won't quite hit that. But if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Never did quite back test off of that trend line, but right here, 21 EMA, worth considering using, or at least testing out. Bounced right off that area right there. Oh man, a JJ showed up. We went from 138 down to 137. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good. The chat has gone quiet. No questions, it seems like, out there. So, real quick before I do go, though, I am doing this tonight. Free live webinar. I'll put a link into the chat right now if you want to get signed up for it. Go over kind of the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, how I manage risk. Make sure that you have a proper framework in mind in terms of what's a smart way to approach the markets, all of that. So, like I said, use that link down below to get signed up for it. And just curious, is there a limit to how many failed tests you can have on TPT? Nope, there is not a limit. How's the fiber internet? Just saw the post. Yesterday I was not impressed. It went out within 24 hours. Now, granted, I just had to go and reboot the modem down in the basement. But today, no outages. We made it through the live stream, so I love the upload speed. Upload speed is amazing. So I don't know. I'm mixed right now, James. Yesterday I was not too impressed. Today, it's hanging in there. So, all right, everybody. Well, again, final time. I look clear. Good. But final time. Their markets are closed tomorrow. They close at 5 p.m. Eastern time for Good Friday tomorrow, and then they'll open back up at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So everybody have a good Easter weekend and enjoy yourself. Be smart the rest of your day. Definitely don't do anything stupid, because if you do, now you're going to have 3 days to have to stew on it. Don't do anything stupid and ruin your weekend, because I've been there. You don't want to have to sit here for the next 3 days and think about the dumb move that you're maybe thinking about doing right now. So everybody take care. Have a good one.